Ahoj a dobrý večer! Welcome everyone to the FIM Speedway Grand-pri here on Discovery. We are in Czech Republic in the beautiful city of Prague that has become a legendary stop on the tour of Speedway World Championship. And why is that? Well, there is no other stadium in the world that has staged more Speedway Grand-Prix action than this iconic Markéta Stadium. And I'm right now on the track in the starting area where in less than half an hour riders will line up for the opening race of tonight, and we are really looking forward to it. I'm sure that Scott Nichols and his special guests are also very much excited about tonight. So let's move to Scott and see who's there with him.
Yeah, thanks Marcelina. Ty joins me now. Ty, super successful track record here, 3-peat, 13, 14, 15. Got to be feeling good.
Yeah, for sure. You know, that was a long time ago, though, a really long time ago. But yeah, that's in the past, and we've got new obstacles, new challenges. So, yeah, it's all to play for.
Yeah, it's still a lot to play for. Early days in the season, much better in Warsaw. But obviously, I know you said it's a long while back, but coming back to track where you've got such a strong track record and been very successful, that has to help, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's a track that I enjoy riding at. I can't see many of the guys in the pits that wouldn't enjoy riding here anyway. But it's a super nice shape. It's a little bit tricky, a little bit technical. That kind of like starting in the UK and growing and riding all them sort of tracks would help.
Is that what you like about these types of tracks?
I like them when they're rough. Like I enjoyed Warsaw 2 weeks ago. It was super. One of the corners was super rough around the inside, and there was only a select few riders that can actually ride through that. So it's super fun. It was a little bit choppy in practice qualifying. So hey, we'll get out there, try and make some starts, and see how we go.
Prague has this funny kind of aura about it, about the guy that wins here, goes on to win the World title. You done it in 2013. Do you think that puts a bit more emphasis? Do you think psychologically a few of the guys are more keen to win tonight?
I've had both ends of the stick. I've won here and won the championship, and I've also won here and not won the championship. So for me, you know, you make your own luck in life, and yeah, just crack on. So.
Well, good luck tonight. Whatever happens, we're going to be treated to an epic night's racing. See you soon.
It's round 3 of FIM Speedway Grand-Prix, all live from Markéta Stadium here in Prague. And we are back on the track, and I'm joined right now by also a very special guest, the first ever female racer to compete in the FIM Speedway World Championship Series. Hello, Celina.
Hello, Marcelina. Thank you.
Celina Liebman is my first guest right now. Yesterday, Speedway Grand-Prix 2 was launched here at Markéta Stadium, and you had the chance to compete here yesterday. How did you react when you found out that you were given the wild card for that event?
Yeah, I was really over the moon. I was on the phone with my mom, and I was scrolling through Facebook, and then I saw, yeah, I have the wild card, and my mama told me 2 minutes before, yeah, I bought tickets for Austria and Papa, and we go as a family to there. And I was like, Mom, I can't go with you. I have to go to Prague. And she was like, yeah, go, have fun and enjoy it.
A little change of the plans, but yeah. I'm sure you enjoyed it last night. And yeah, exactly. What was your experience last night at this track in Prague?
I learned really a lot. The track conditions were very hard, and it was really difficult to ride. But I think everyone struggled, and yeah, I learned a lot. I scored points, and that was my goal.
So you're satisfied with the outcome so far?
Yeah.
That's the most important. Well, I'd like to ask you also about the feeling. How do you feel to be a role model for all the girls out there who are thinking about becoming Speedway riders? Because definitely you are an example to follow.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm really honored, and it was really a pleasure for me to be there yesterday. And I hope the girls are going, and everyone can do it. Everyone can ride Speedway, also the girls. And see, I did it, and it was really great.
Obviously. So how do you see a Speedway in this environment of women's Speedway developing in the nearest future?
Yeah, it's hard for all women because the muscles don't grow so fast. Like boys, but I think we can do it, girls on the power, and yeah.
Thank you so much. I would love to talk to you more, but I need to go to the pit area right now. Celina Liebman was my first guest. Thank you so much. Good luck. I'll be joining Scott Nicholls in a moment in the pit area, but meanwhile, we're going to hear from Jason Doyle, who knows how to win here at Marquetta Stadium, and he will be hoping definitely for another good performance tonight.
Meet SGP's man of steel, Jason Doyle. In 2017, the Australian became world champion despite riding for most of the season with a broken foot. But the calling for Speedway came very early for the man from New South Wales.
In Australia, you either become a Speedway rider or a road racer. My father obviously was the Speedway rider, so I followed in his footsteps and had the opportunity to finally become professional in England when I was 19, so I started there.
Doyle's spectacular riding style has led him to 6 SGP wins and of course 1 world title, but he's also learnt to adapt when he needs to.
Sometimes it can be aggressive. Sometimes if I don't make the start, I like riding wide and trying to build up speed. It depends where I'm at really, is where the style comes from, but I'd say that I'm pretty hard but fair rider.
In SGP, the start is crucial, and Doyle knows that more than anyone.
Sometimes it's down to luck. If you have a good gate pick, you can start from the inside and then work your way out. For myself, I'm a full gas starter, which is a lot of revs and a lot of power. But depends where you're at, is how you can make a good start.
In the past few years, Doyle has struggled. Being so far away from home was particularly hard during the 2 years of the pandemic, so knowing that there could be a final round in Australia this November makes him even more excited.
The last 2 years, most of the Grand-Prix rounds have been in Poland, which would have been nice to have 10 rounds in Australia for myself. It's happened to me twice. It was 2 of the best meetings I've experienced, and hopefully if this happens again, then I'm really looking forward to riding in front of the Australian public again.
Although Speedway is a dangerous sport, there are other things to watch out for at home.
Snakes, spiders and crocodiles. Hopefully they can go to the beach and get eaten by a shark.
And we are in the pit area. I found Scott Nicholls here. Hello, Scott. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very good. Thank you so much. We've just heard from Jason Doyle a minute ago, and I would like to ask you, because looking at Jason Doyle and his first 2 rounds, he must be a little bit disappointed with the first 2 rounds, but at the same time, what's interesting that he started out well, both in Gorichan and Warsaw. So how do you see his chances to improve?
Yeah, Jason will be bitterly disappointed with the way it started. He said he started well in the first early part of the rounds, but it's where there has to be a real strong communication between the rider and the mechanics and things like that. Have a real good understanding. But we know Jason is a determined rider. He's finding a bit tough right now, a bit tense, but it's good for him coming back here, a place that he's had a lot of success on. He won his world championship here, so in 2017. So yeah, hopefully he'll have a good night.
We can actually see Jason Doyle in his box getting ready for tonight. You spoke with him earlier today at the qualifying session. So what mood was he in?
I think he feels a bit tense, and I mean it's so hard at this level to try and relax. It's so easy to say when you are relaxed, that's when you're at your best. But when you want something so much, it's really hard to not kind of force the issue. So hopefully practice didn't go great for him, but sometimes maybe that's taking the pressure off, and he can go and relax and enjoy the night.
We're going to hear now from next racer, the one who came in third back in Warsaw, and Scott had a chance to cut up with Freddie Lindgren earlier today to talk about how he feels ahead of tonight and what he makes of this track in Prague.
Yeah, thanks, Marceline. I'm joining Freddie Lindgren now. Freddie, you had a tough night in Warsaw, showed a lot of character, bounce back. Firstly, how are you feeling?
No, I feel really good. I'm healthy and ready to go.
Good. Well, you bounced back. You're known as a bit of a tough man. You're pretty ruthless. The other riders know that. Does that faze you at all?
I wouldn't say I'm ruthless. I race hard, but many guys do, and I also get racing hard on, and I normally take that pretty good on the shin. So we're here to win medals. That's what we're here for.
That's okay. So you take it on the chin. So What are you like at home? Are you ruthless at home? Do you race the missus up the stairs and like push her out of the way, or are you a different character at home?
No, I'm normally pretty calm at home. Something happens when I put my helmet on and I go racing. You know, it's time to focus, and it's a bit different.
Away from racing, do you do anything to try and replicate the buzz of racing, or do you like to? You run a busy schedule. Do you like to just chill out and have some downtime?
Well, it's either relax. I like to watch some films or just relax time. Otherwise, I really enjoy to ride a bit of motocross. I'm not fast, but it gives me a big buzz and some butterflies in my stomach, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it's fun to get on a bike and enjoy it. Back to racing tonight. You've got a good record here in Prague. Is there anything in particular that you really like about the track here, or is there anything that you'd suggest the viewers keep an eye out and look out for?
Well, it's kind of a challenge to come here to Prague. I don't think any of the riders really enjoy racing this track. It's a very narrow entry and exit of the corner, and can be very difficult for overtaking. So gating gloves must be on.
Hope you got the gating gloves on. Good luck tonight. Go well.
Thank you.
Freddie Lindgren is currently behind us, also getting ready for tonight. Freddie, who is the most experienced rider when it comes to SGP, it's going to be his 16th time here at Marketa Stadium. Do you think it might be an advantage for him over the rivals?
I wouldn't say it's much necessarily an advantage because they're the world's best, but he's got a great track record here. All the guys we've spoken about in the build-up to the show tonight have had a fantastic record here tonight. Freddie's definitely one to look out for. We know he puts everything on the line. He's very hard, and he has a good record here.
At the beginning of the season maybe wasn't ideal for Freddie, but it seems like from the beginning of May it's getting better and better. How would you rate his form so far?
Yeah, it didn't start out great, but in Warsaw, I mean, he showed a lot of character in Warsaw. You know, hit the deck, had some problems, come back, got on the podium, and also last season he had all the COVID illness and things like that carrying on. So he's had a lot of things against him.
He's a tough guy, isn't he?
Oh, he certainly is.
And as you mentioned, Warsaw, we're gonna see one more time how the night unfolded 2 weeks ago.
After an emphatic victory 2 weeks earlier at the opening round in Croatia, Bartosz was back in more familiar surroundings for the first of those 4 rounds of Grand Prix action in Poland this season. The National Stadium in Warsaw, the venue on Saturday, with 50,000 fans supporting him and 4 other Polish riders. Enjoying home advantage, Zmarzlik looked strong and had stormed to the top of the standings by the end of the heats. He was joined in the semi-finals by compatriots Maciej Janowski and Paweł Predpelski. But with passionate local support comes the pressure of expectation, and surprisingly, that appeared to be too much to handle for the hot favourite.
Oh, that's a big mistake.
That allowed Max Frick and Fredrik Lindgren the opportunity to progress from semi-final 1. Mikael Mikkelsen and Leon Madsen took the 1-2 in the second semi, denying Janowski, the last remaining Pole, a place in the final. There was an early exit though for Mikkelsen in the evening's finale. He collided with fellow Dane Madsen and required medical attention.
Mikkelsen's down, red light's going to come on.
The race restarted with the 3 remaining riders all guaranteed a podium spot. Australian Frick took the win, Madsen was second, with Sweden's Lindgren just behind in third. Despite not making the final, Bartosz Zmarzlik remains top of the standings ahead of the next race in Prague.
That was definitely a night to remember, and I'm sure that Bartek Zmarzlik will remember that semi-final that costed him, that mistake he made in the semi-final that costed him the appearance in the final.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure he'll be trying to forget about it. That's the thing, Zmarzlik, he's on the edge all the time, and that's what's given him so much success, but sometimes you need to reel it back in a little bit. But he's a rider, it's at his best when he's on the edge, and sadly, just a small mistake there, and it cost him that place in the final.
He definitely showed a great action on the track overall, but we also had a little bit of a drama there in Warsaw, especially in the final heat when Leon Madsen and Mikael Mikkelsen had a crash that looked really, really serious, but Mikael Mikkelsen walked away with it, and that's the most important thing.
Oh, definitely. It was a real tough crash. It was a tough call for the referee to decide who to exclude, and I think in the end he made the right decision. But like you say, first and foremost, it's great that Mikkelsen is not injured. He was in practice today and looking good, but not sure if they're best of buddies right now.
The best memories for Max Frick, definitely, from Warsaw. Were you surprised with the outcome, with him topping the podium back then?
I think a few people are surprised, and I think they were surprised because he had such a tough opening round in Croatia, but that's what's exciting about Grand Prix Speedway. It's so hard to predict. Zmarzlik came in red hot favourite in Warsaw, and that small mistake put him out of the final and opened the door up for Max. And Max showed a lot of mental strength to go out and choose gate 4 in the final and then to go and do it twice at the restart. So yeah, he will certainly be high on confidence coming into tonight.
Definitely, Max Frick is the world champion material, no doubt about it. He's a very good racer, and if you'd like to know what it takes to be a very good racer, it's no better way to listen from a guy who achieved everything in the sport. Tony Rickardsson is going to explain us what it takes to be a good speedway racer.
Speedway certainly looks like a simple and raw motorsport, but there's a lot that needs to happen in order to win a Speedway heat. The riders compete on a 500cc motorcycle with no brakes, only one gear, and the rear wheel is constantly spinning. The riders are power sliding on the bends at high speed on a dirt track. So you need to be a great rider to meet the unique demands of the sport. In order to be a great rider, there are two really important factors: balance and the ability to adapt. Balance, because you are riding a machine that has no brakes and that quickly accelerates to speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour. It is actually faster than a Formula 1 car. The front wheel barely even touches the ground all the way around the racetrack. During the bends, you are constantly sliding, but you are not doing this for fun. In fact, you're trying to slide as little as possible through the corner, so as not to lose speed. And this involves tilting the bike. The rider can use a left leg for balance as well through the corner. He'll wear a steel shoe on the left boot to make it easier to slide on the surface. But again, the less you slide, the faster you will go. So you really need to get those wheels in line as fast as you can when you exit the corner. Oftentimes, those who watch the sport think the racetracks are always the same. That is definitely not the case. The racetrack changes from one race to another. Speedway tracks are different in length. They vary between 270 and 350 meters. One thing all tracks do have in common, though, is that the bike travels counterclockwise in all instances. Riders always sliding left around the corners. Picking the right racing line is crucial, and being even a few centimeters off can have a big impact on your race. When a rider hits a rut, the bike can lift up and you will lose speed, not good, or even crash in the worst case scenario. But if you use the ruts in a good way, you can even gain speed, and that is the name of the game. A good rider is one who will find the best starting position. Getting a best possible start is paramount. It will give you a true advantage with the 4 hard laps that lie ahead. If you are in the lead, you try to defend your position by blocking the riders behind you. And if you are chasing, it is your job to put the leader under pressure. Until the end, you can still slow down your opponents by spraying them with dirt. The dirt that comes out from under the back wheel is quite painful and certainly will slow your opponents down. But your Speedway GP rivals will still try to find a way to overtake you. The rider who knows how to adapt to all racing conditions, including the toughest, has the greatest chance of becoming Speedway GP World Champion.
There's always nice to hear from FIM Speedway Grand Prix Ambassador Tony Rickardson. Wow, there is so many aspects you need to look out for to be successful in that sport. And given your experience, Scott, what would you add to that?
There's not much to add. I think Tony covered it, and like you say, he is the world's best. But you definitely need to be fearless. You have to be a brave rider. And these guys that are behind me now going out for parade, I think every one of them has certainly got the fear factor there.
If we are talking about your own experiences, let's bring back some memories from Prague, because you also been here several times. So what do you remember from that time?
Yeah, it can be a tough racetrack. Interesting what Freddie said, it can be quite narrow going into the corners, but I had some good Grand Prix here and had some indifferent ones as well.
I think we can also look for the videos of you racing here at this track in Marqueta, and you're actually here with a yellow helmet. So do you remember that race?
Yeah, I do. I made the final. You can see I made a big mistake there in the turn. It really chopped up that night. I have to thank Jason Crump. He actually lent me his rear wheel for that race. But yeah, it's really cool to make the final, but it's always so disheartening when you don't get on the box.
We talk a little bit about the track here in Prague. So riders already had the chance to try how it is here at Marqueta, because at the qualifying session they had their own conclusions, and Scott talked with them right after the qualifying session.
So Max Fricks joins me after qualifying practice. Max, obviously carrying that confidence on from your win in Warsaw, going second quickest.
Yeah, it's a nice start to the day here. Finished second in qualifying, so it gives us a good gate pick for tonight. So hopefully we can carry a little bit of that speed over from the last GP. But today's a new day, different track, different conditions, so it's all to play for.
Yeah, very different track, but you look quick in practice, look smooth. How much pressure is there on the practice? Because everybody's chasing for that first gate choice. Are you feeling a lot of pressure in the practice?
I don't feel a lot of pressure. I think it's just go out, enjoy riding my bike a little bit, have a bit of fun, and just get a bit of a feel for things. If it comes away with a good time, well, even better.
Well, there you go. Well, if you're happy and you're winning, then it's a winning formula. So good luck for tonight.
Thank you very much.
So Robert Lambert joins me now after qualifying practice. Robert, third in practice. Got to be happy with that?
Yeah, definitely. We got a good couple of laps in, and we sort of made some tactical lines to be able to get a quick time, and that paid off. So obviously it helps us when we're choosing our position for the meeting.
How influential is Jason Crump and the rest of your crew on, like you said, tactical lines and things like that in qualifying?
Oh, it's a massive help, you know. A lot more experience and you know, knowledge that can be put my way, and sort of point them things out, and then I can translate that on the bike and put things into work. So yeah, all working together is you know, incredible and good, and only it's going to be coming good stuff.
Hey, so I'm with Leon Madsen after qualifying practice. Leon, are you happy with how things went in qualifying?
Yeah, yes and no. The first practice we did, we went completely wrong with the setup, I think. The track just wasn't there yet. So, but in the second run it was a lot better, and yeah, we are okay.
Did you feel you had to make many changes in order to set that the quick lap time in your second one out?
Yeah, we did a few changes so to make the bike work properly on the track. It's not an easy track, you know. It's a big track, but still it's a little bit technical also. So you really have to dial in correctly with your bike to have a good speed.
We are getting closer to the opening race of tonight. The riders are out for their parade, and I need to ask you, Scott, how do you find the atmosphere here? We are at the heart of the action right now.
Yeah, it's great. It's knowing that the guys are behind getting ready for parade, it brings back those memories. On the parade, you're kind of in that mix of emotions where you're kind of trying to just enjoy the event, but your mind has already started to think about your first race. Yeah, the adrenaline's running, the butterflies, your heart rate starts to rise, and so you're really getting into race mode. But yeah, it's a pretty cool night.
I need to ask you about one more thing. Have you heard about this lucky omen of Marqueta Stadium?
Yeah, there is. That's been going a long time. That was around when I was riding. That's a long time ago. So, yeah, I think 12 of the last 20 Grand Prix here. The winner of this event has gone on to be world champion. So, a lot to play for.
Okay, we are ready for the third round of FIM Speedway Grand Prix. Enjoy the show.
Ale jsou to samozřejmě i další.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Prague. We're here in the Marketa Stadium for the third round of the SGP World Speedway Championship. It's great to be back in this part of the world. It's been on the calendar since 1997. We're not too far away from the action getting underway. Ryder's presentation is going to be coming on very shortly. Here's the calendar, of course. We've been in Godashan and Warsaw 2 weeks ago in the Narodowy, but we're here in the Marketa in Prague for tonight's event. Very much looking forward to it, and the weather is set fair. Yesterday it was not quite so kind to the SGP2 riders when we had quite a lot of rain in the afternoon, but it's been fine weather throughout today, and we are looking set fair for a terrific night of Grand-Prix Speedway action. Riders' presentation coming up now. We will be introducing the two young reserves, which we saw last night. Alongside me is Chris Louis, as always. And Chris, really looking forward to this meeting tonight.
Yeah, certainly am. It's a great venue, nestled on the hills here, the west side of Prague. It's a beautiful stadium, and I think we're set fair for some great racing tonight.
Here we go. Petr Šilpak comes forward, rode well last night, and we'll be looking forward to an opportunity to ride tonight if called upon. As an SGP2 rider, he definitely played his part.
Yeah, the other reserve, Daniel Klima, had a bit of a crash last night. It was a tough night for him in tough conditions.
Jankovic coming forward as well. He rode very strongly. This was disappointing, of course, for him in the final, but rode well in qualifying earlier today. Certainly held his own. He'll be looking forward to a strong performance.
Dan Bewley, another good, strong, solid performance from him in qualifying today. He's settling into his first Grand Prix season.
Yeah, he needs to push on and pick up some strong points here this evening. Martin Vasilik has had a tough start to the series this time around and really is needing a strong result because so far it just hasn't been his season.
Yeah, Patrick Dudek hasn't had a great start to this year. 5 points in both the rounds so far. Needs to step it up.
Jack Holder just beginning to find his feet, coming in as a substitute rider. Just sense that he's just beginning to feel like he really belongs in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, Pavel Szapelski, another one that would be looking for some improvement tonight. Was better in Warsaw.
Yeah, a much improved performance from Szapelski for sure. Here we see Ty Wolfenden has a tremendous record here, the three-time former world champion, also needing a big night. Has had a disappointing return so far.
Yeah, Jason Doyle would love to see a return to some good form in the Grand Prix. Spoke to him earlier today. He says he needs to toughen up a bit in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, former winner here, of course. Anders Thompson, who was disappointing 2 weeks ago in Warsaw, needs to recapture that form he had in Croatia, where he had a fabulous night at Speedway.
Yeah, Robert Lambert, great in qualifying. He'll be full of confidence. Would love to make the final here tonight.
Indeed he would. Just about to make a big breakthrough, you think. Max Frick, of course, a stunning victory 2 weeks ago in Warsaw, full of confidence, fast in qualifying this afternoon. And he'll be looking to carry on where he left off 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Freddie Lindgren, always consistent performer here. Generally speaking, makes at least the semi-final stage, if not the finals.
Yep, fast Freddie Lindgren. And Maciej Janowski, of course, won the opening round here in 2021. And it was a double header there, had a first and a second, and led the World Championship as he left Prague. So fond memories for him. Mikkel Mikkelsen, I say, he has been going great.
Fantastic, the only rider to make both finals this year so far.
Lying second equal in the World Championship on 30 points. So Leon Madsen coming forward as well, second place 2 weeks ago, looking good, fully fit these days now, and that's good news for Leon.
And what can you say about this man? Bartosz Marslik topped the qualifying third meeting in a row.
Absolutely right.
Leads the World Championship.
He does indeed on 32 points. Right, we will now take a short pause. In a minute now we will have the Czech national anthem. But there are the gladiators for tonight's event. Won't be too much longer and we will have a wonderful rendition of the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for
we can hear it. We can hear it now.
Czech Republic. Dámy a pánové, prosím povstaňte, zazní česká hymna v podání operní pěvkyně Terezy Smolákové.
šumí po skalinách, v sadě skví se jara květ, zemský raj to na pohled, a to je ta krásná země, země česká, domov můj, země česká, domov můj.
Thank you, díky moc. To byla Tereza Smoláková, operní pěvkyně, která nám tady obstarala českou hymnu. And now, Prague, let's the show begin! Teďka show může tady začít, takže za chvilku to všechno vypukne. Já doufám, že už jsou připraveni nahoře i Jirka Hejtík a Tomáš Lorek. Doufám, a znovu to zopakuji, že jste připraveni i vy. A doufám, že jste připraveni použít všechny hlasivky, všechnu sílu vašich hlasivek, všechny nástroje, které jste si přinesli, a věřím, že tady bude opravdu pořádný kravál, tak jak vás tady vyzývá i světelná tabule.
Já tě jenom potvrdím, že připravení opravdu jsme, já i Tomek, a těšíme se.
Imagine a community where millions invest in stocks, share ideas, strategies, and beyond.
To the moon?
eToro, the power of social investing. Join 25 million users worldwide. Get the eToro app today.
The all-seeing Hawkeye camera doesn't work the French Open. So we took him on holiday to Almeria to open his eyes to different lines, charting the seas of the Mediterranean Sea, tracing our storied walls, outlining the sinuous furrows of our deserts and our infinitely spellbinding beaches. The lines that led him here and the ones that take him back are images he'll never forget. Join us and see it all, like Hawkeye. Costa de Almeria.
Electric car insurance from LV. Run out of power and we'll take you to the nearest charge point or charge you roadside. Get a quote today at lv.com.
Founders, make some noise. It's time to show the world who you are. Refined, luxury, loud. Silence the admin and get back to doing what entrepreneurs do best. You are
Lorenzo,
Annie, Kate.
Express yourself. That thing you're good at. Say it with your business. With a range of benefits to help companies scale and a dedicated account manager, Tide is there to help businesses find their voice and make it louder. Sign up for a Tide business account today.
Good, Nick. Yeah, it's had a long weekend, but it's held up very well.
So riders are up on the gathering station, and we've got a terrific opening race in prospect here. Dan Bewley will come out of the inside gate. Strong qualifying for him. Chose to go for the number one draw. And what do you think about that, Chris? You know, the inside gate in the opening ride, but you're going to come out with a freshly prepared track every time. That I'm not quite sure in my mind exactly how that's going to work for him, but he didn't hesitate.
Yes, he'll start and finish with an inside gate, gate one, and I think the timing for that is good. We know here gate 4 can come good for the middle towards the end part of the meeting, but yeah, it depends on the watering and the track grading. It depends how much water they put down as to whether or not that could be a problem for him.
Jason Doyle out here. Wasn't great in qualifying. In truth, he was frustrated with his performance this afternoon, but he'll be coming out of gate number 3 in the opening race and keeping his fingers crossed he can get off to a strong start. And track does look much better in truth, and got to say that with a healthy crowd in here, we've got a terrific atmosphere. I'm sure these riders are really keen to get on with the action. There's no doubt in your first ride, your nerves are jangling a wee bit. So riders approaching the start gate for the opening ride. A few running repairs for Dan Bewley there, just adjusting the rear chain. Here he comes now. And And as I say, Paweł Szapelski there just doing some gardening. A much improved performance from him in the Narodowy Stadium 2 weeks ago. Had some very impressive rides in truth. And after a disappointing opening gambit in Croatia. So here we go for heat number 1 then. And on the inside, we've got Dan Bewley coming out of there in red. Alongside him, we've got Paweł Szapelski in blue. Gate number 3 is Jason Doyle in white. And on the outside, we've got Mikkel Mikkelsen, who lies second in the World Championship, coming out of there in gate number 4 in yellow. So Mikkelsen there on the evidence of the first 2 Grand Prix, making 2 finals. I must say he's in fine form. The European champion, second in the world at the moment. Green light's about to come on for the opening race for the 3rd round of the World Championship, and it's a good break there, and it's certainly very tight, and Jason Doyle just about keeping his nose in front. Great first corner from the Australian there. Really has power to the front. Paweł Szapelski in second place as they come out of the turn number 4 on the opening lap. Doyle out in front, though. That was a great first turn from him.
Absolutely wonderful first turn from Jason Doyle. He said earlier today that he needed to toughen up in his Grand Prix racing, and he came through the middle of the pack into the first turn there, and it's easy to get closed down, but he just kept it on. And he's not pulling away up front, but he looks reasonably comfortable.
Yeah, plenty of water going down on the track, and they're hugging the inside in this opening race. Jason Doyle lifted heavily down that back straight, but he just about maintained his lead. Looks like he's got it all under control. Track riding really nicely in truth. But that move in the first corner really has made his way through to the front, and he's looking really good. Just beginning to stamp his authority on it now. Coming through the last corner. Former world champion out in front. Jason Doyle wins in style. Starts this 3rd round of the World Championship, and that's an encouraging result for the former champion.
You can almost see the relief as he went over the finish line there to take the checkered flag to actually win a race.
Yeah, that was it was a good opening ride. It was 3 abreast as they went into that first corner, but he didn't back off. He showed great commitment, and he stamped his authority on that first corner and dictated terms right from the opening lap. So yeah, Mikkel Mikkelsen actually missing out there. That gate 4, it was a long way to the first corner there.
Tough from there, especially with the water down, first race of the night.
It was indeed. But for that man who was disappointing earlier on today, that will be long forgotten now. And gate number 3, not always the best here, but he made it his.
Yeah, see it now there. So he doesn't actually make the start there. It's an even break. All 3 riders, Szapelski on the inside of him, Mikkelsen on the outside of him. But he just keeps the throttle on, and he's just determined to be the one that comes out the front. So no, a great start, showing that he's got the character to come through. And we said before the meeting that Jason Doyle, Ty Wolfenden in particular tonight really need to come to the fore. They've been rather mediocre so far this year, but a cracking start for Jason Doyle.
Yes, it was indeed. He'll be relieved with that, you're right. And there's no question that he was a little embarrassed about his performance earlier on today, but he's put that to rest straight away by defying the odds of the qualifying times, by coming up with a really strong ride there. And you can see the celebration. That meant a lot to him. It should just settle him down very nicely. And the ideal start for the 2017 world champion. So we're up at tapes for heat number 2 then, and Bartosz Marslik is out here. He'll go from that inside gate in red, and alongside him is Maciej Janowski in blue. Jankovic, the wild card, will go from gate number 3 in white, and Ty Wolfenden off the outside in yellow. This is quite some lineup.
It is.
For heat number 2. Yeah, Bartosz Marslik on the inside in red, Maciej Janowski in blue in gate number 2, Jankovic coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Ty Wolfenden, a former winner here, 3 times a winner here in actual fact, going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, the wild card, Jankovic. He looks across to the inside of him, 2 rather fast riders.
Yeah, big.
3 times world champion on the outside of him.
Yeah, he's got good company. The tapes are up and away we go. And Janowski's made a brilliant start out of gate number 2. He gets to the front there, and Ty Wolfenden tucking back into 3rd place with Jankovic running very wide indeed. Stunning start for Maciej Janowski. He holds the inside line as they complete the first lap. Winner here, of course, in 2021. really did ride beautifully that night, and he's shown a clean pair of heels here to the opposition in the opening race. Looking good out in front, Chris.
Yeah, he is. He had a fantastic round, as you say, in 21 with 2 great results, and he's leading the current series leader, Bartosz Marslik. Bartosz, he's certainly hanging on to his coattails, but it's difficult in these early few races to find a way past. The speed is around the inside, although just seeing that Maciej Janowski's moving off the line did leave a bit of a hole going into that corner, but Smarslik really can't do anything about it at the moment.
Yeah, Smarslik working overtime in second place, but Janowski's got it all covered. A little bit greasy in the opening couple of races, which is to be expected. As they come through the last turn, Janowski wins in really good style. That was a tough-looking heat number 2. Comes through in flying colours there. Great start for Janowski. Second place for Smarslik. And Jankovic just getting it all wrong there in the first turn, allowing Woofender to come up the inside to secure that third place. But for Maciej Janowski, a very impressive opening ride from him.
Nice ride from Maciej. Great start. Got over his rival, Bartosz Smarslik, Polish compatriot, and they will be vying for top spot, I'm sure, this year. Maciej Janowski, we say it time and time again, he's just got to find that consistency.
Janowski, 3 points for him. Bartosz Smarslik in second place, 2 points. Ty Woofenden picking up the third place there, 1 point for him, and Jankovic just missing out.
Yeah, Janowski, gate 2 in blue here, absolutely textbook start. Front wheel just hovers in the air, he doesn't have to work too hard on the bike. That means he's got perfect amount of throttle on, and we're taking a close-up look now at Smarslik. Working hard, you can see he straightens his body up, the back wheel is obviously spinning, needs to try and get that bike to go forward, get a little bit more traction on the back wheel, and unfortunately for him, Maciej Janowski just got it absolutely spot on. You will not find a much better start than that.
That reminded me of a start that Greg Hancock could make. It really was absolutely perfect. We saw some superb starts, of course, from Artem Laguta last year as well, but for Janowski in his opening ride, he'll be absolutely delighted with that, and starts in fine style. So heat number 3 coming up for us very shortly as well, and Janowski just settling down after his opening 4 laps. Yeah, we've got Freddie Lindgren here up at tapes. He'll go from the inside, and again a rider that won here back in 2018, and it was a stunning performance that night, particularly the final when he passed Dudek. I mean, will live long in the memory, that's for sure. Jack Holder out as well. So it's action coming to us thick and fast. On the inside in red is Freddie Lindgren. Gate number 2 is Jack Holder in blue. Robert Lambert in white will go out of the gate number 3, and Leon Madsen on the outside in yellow will go from there. And Madsen is in good form. He's been fast this year. Super result for him in Warsaw 2 weeks ago. 30 World Championships points to his name at this stage, and Leon's looking fit. He's got rid of the flu, which is good news, and I must say, beginning to look like a rider we saw back in 2019. The tapes are up and away we go. Gate number 2 working a treat once again, and Jack Holder with Robert Lambert right alongside him, but it's Jack Holder, look at that, powering to the front as they come out of the first corner. Madsen coming up the inside of Freddie Lindgren as they enter turn 3 on the first lap. Strong move there from Leon Madsen from Denmark. Freddie Lindgren trying to come back at him and repay the compliment. But Jack Holder, that was a really impressive opening lap from him.
Yeah, impressive start for Jack Holder, but Leon Madsen came through like a steam train. He was not backing out of that move up the inside of Freddie Lindgren, and he's chasing Jack Holder down, but I've got to say, he's got plenty of speed out front, looking comfortable.
Yeah, Jack Holder, I did say on the rider's presentation, was just beginning to find his feet in the Grand-Prix series, and this is the ideal way to do it. Out in front, superstar from gate number 2, looking strong. Leon Madsen, whoa, what a strong move from him on the opening lap to get up the inside of Freddie Lindgren. Not too many people do that. And as they come out of the last corner in heat number 3, Jack Holder holds on for a very impressive 3 points there. And that will delight the camp. Hasn't been an easy start in the opening 2 rounds for Jack Holder. But quite clearly delighted with it.
Yeah, steady progression for Jack. Scored 3 points in Goroshan, and then 7 points in Warsaw on a race win here in his opening ride, so he's certainly making progress.
He is indeed, and that's the sort of thing that will really make a rider grow in confidence, particularly in their debut season at this level. result then, Jack Holder picks up the win, 3 points for him. Second place for Leon Madsen, 2 points. Freddie Lindgren back in third, 1 point for him. And Robert Lambert missing out this time.
This gate 2 once again seems to be the gate to come from, but once again it's a very even break, and I thought Robert Lambert there on the edge of the dirt coming from gate 3, he'd made a good start. Thought he was going to capitalise, but Freddie Lindgren just shuts the door on him, and as soon as he backs the throttle off, we can see now that Leon Madsen's coming through with the wheel in the air coming into the corner, and he is not slowing down.
No, he is not. And
out of the way.
It was a tough move. It was a ruthless move there from Leon Madsen, but he took the opportunity. Quite often
he saw it coming.
He did see it coming, and quite often there we do see riders clash going into turn 3. It's quite narrow, but Madsen pulls it off.
The amount of speed he had with the front wheel in the air at that point in the straight, that could have ended in tears, to be honest.
Could have done. Not many people pushed Freddie Lindgren out the way, but Madsen certainly did there. But for the Australians so far in the opening 3 races, it's been success for Jason Doyle and Jack Holder, so strong starts from them. We're up at tapes now for heat number 4. And we've got Patrick Dudek here going from the inside, and we've got the winner, of course, from 2 weeks ago in Warsaw, Max Frick, out as well. There we see Patrick Dudek. Had a little chat with him earlier on today. Not quite happy with everything, but see how he goes tonight. On the inside in red, Dudek. Gate number 2, Martin Vasilik in blue. Anders Thompson coming from gate 3 in white. And Max Frick will go from the outside in
Calvin,
yellow.
how's Anders Thompson going to be thinking? He's had 2 Grand Prix,
well,
two tape exclusions in his first 2 rides.
I know you can get quite significant odds on him actually breaking the tapes for the 3rd consecutive Grand Prix. I do hope that isn't the case. No, I have said it, but I'm sure he's going to behave himself now. Heat number 4, round number 3 in the World Championship, and away we go. They've all behaved, and gate number 2 is working a treat once again. Martin Vasilik fires himself to the front. Anders Thompson round the outside of Dudek, powers his way into 2nd place. Martin Vasilik out in front, looking good. This is good for Martin Vasilik. Needs a confidence booster. Heat number 4, and he's stretching away out in front. Anders Thompson settling for 2nd place at this stage. Dudek back in 3rd, and Max Frick out the back, and that really is quite a shock.
Yeah, disastrous start for Max Frick, the Warsaw winner. And but let's not. He had a last place, I think, in his first ride in Warsaw.
He did indeed.
You know, we know he can recover from it, but out front's good to see Martin Vasilik just settling down. He looks his old self, plenty of speed. We know he's a brave rider.
He is indeed. He's powering on nicely here. This is a nice ride from him. Not too much overtaking at this stage of the night. The track will evolve, and I'm sure it's going to improve. But for Martin Vasilik, he's not worried about that, because he wins Heat 4 in fine style. And a very handy 3 points for Martin there. He's found points hard to come by in the opening 2 rounds, but there, I must say, that was much more like his old self. And for him, just like Jack Holder and Jason Doyle, an opening ride like that really can turn your season around. And for him, he goes back to the pit bay and he'll be chuffed a bit.
It just shows how competitive this lineup in the Grand Prix series is nowadays.
Martin Vasilik, he's the winner, 3 points. Anders Thompson back in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Patrick Dudek, 3rd place, 1 point. And Max Frick, coming from gate 4, just misses out. You see the results and the standings after 4 rides. 3 points for Doyle, 3 points for Janowski. Jack Holder the same, Martin Vasilik. They're the first 4 winners of the opening 4 heats. And I must say that all of them were really quite impressive indeed.
Imagine a community where millions invest in stocks, share ideas, strategies, and beyond.
To the moon?
eToro, the power of social investing. Join 25 million users worldwide. Get the eToro app today.
This is the day where your moves, your shots, and the figures you have trained for matter. FISU, where sport unites global students, where friendships are built, and where goals are achieved.
Wouldn't it be nice to give your retirement finances a boost? Well, Key's range of later life finance products could help you do just that. With a lifetime mortgage, for example, you have the option of accessing tax-free cash from your home in one lump sum or drawing down smaller amounts over a period of time, putting you in control of your finances. So search Key Later Life to see how we could help you afford a better retirement. Key for the life in later life.
No home, no address. No address, no bank account. No bank account, no job. No job, no home. We're working with charities like Shelter to provide a bank account for people who are homeless. Search HSBC UK No Fixed Address.
Erectile dysfunction. What does it mean? Why is it happening? High cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes, low testosterone. Our erectile dysfunction blood test will help you figure it out. The Erectile Dysfunction Blood Test. At home. Fast results. Order today at Newman.com.
Visit uswitch.com to see if you could save £162 on your broadband. That put a spring in his step. It's probably time you switch.
The action for heat number 5. So heat number 5 then is coming up for us, and Bartosz Marslik, after a solid second place first time out, he'll be coming out here in gate number 3. And Max Frick will be looking to make amends from a disappointing opening ride, but he will go from the inside, and I just sense that that could just be a little bit more of an advantage. Gate 4 in the opening 4 races was a tough ask, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's only managed to amass 3 points from the first 4 heats, and you know, we've seen it here before. Gate 4 can come good, but it normally takes about sort of 7 or 8 races for that to happen, and then it can go off again at the end of the night.
Yeah, you do need a bit of help in the first corner with the grip developing so you can get some speed out of there, but so far that hasn't materialised. And they are going to work hard on this track because, as I say, it's had plenty of action over the last 2 days, and with the weather that we experienced yesterday, it did cut up quite extensively, so they're going to be really mindful of that earlier on. They don't want those holes and ruts to develop too quickly.
No, the rain yesterday made life very, very difficult for the track staff, and certainly for the SGP2 riders, who did a fantastic job, really. It was a tough night for them. The track was very, very challenging. And as you say, they've been working extensively. It's had a busy weekend, this track. It's had this SGP2 practice, and then it had the race meeting last night. It's had the Grand-Prix qualifying today, and now the race meeting. So, yes, it's had plenty of work.
Plenty of laps, that's for sure. And I must say, I must congratulate Matthias Schieniak. It was a stunning performance in the final, and we did have a few delays, but in the end, it was a great final. He got the better of Francis Gust, and it was a great way to win the opening round of the SGP2 series, and we look forward to seeing those riders on the Cardiff weekend in August. So round number 2 there. It'll be on the Sunday after the Saturday night Grand Prix.
And that's going to be a great experience for those guys. What a stage for them.
Yeah, it is. Smashing stadium, and looking forward to going back. There we see the pit bays, of course, the new pit area that the new generation of Speedway have brought. Discovery Sports Events introducing that, with each pit area having its own camera, so you can keep an eye on what's going on. Jason Doyle just patiently waiting for his second ride after a really good opening ride. As I say, Max Frick choosing number 13. You do get back-to-back races in your first 2 rides. And in some ways, after having a disappointing ride, probably quite a good thing to be able to get straight back out on track and put that out of the way.
Yeah, you haven't got that long period from having a bad ride to think too much, overthink it, worry about it, maybe make changes that are not necessary. You know, he's straight back into the action.
And here they come, emerging back out onto the track. And we're focusing there on the way to the start line is Bartosz Zmarzlik after being beaten by Janowski, who was very impressive. Robert Lambert also failed to score on his first ride, so he'll be trying to do something from gate number 4. And as I say, first up, it has not been that easy to score points from gate number 4. Not impossible, of course, but not easy. So gate number 5, riders up at tapes and doing the gardening as normal. And Max Frick, a stunning performance 2 weeks ago, big win in front of 52,000 people.
It's always about money,
It
Kelvin.
is indeed, but 52,000 spectators. It was a win he'll remember forever. Dan Bewley there, looking to get going here. Gate number 2 has actually worked very well in the opening 4 races. He'll be hoping that that remains the case. So the lineup for heat number 5. You've got Max Frick there on the inside in red. Gate number 2 is Dan Bewley in blue. Bartosz Zmarzlik will come out of gate number 3 in white. And Robert Lambert going from the outside in yellow. Now Max Frick got to show his mettle here, hasn't he, really, to bounce back after that disappointing opening ride.
Yeah, he did it in Warsaw. He knows he can do it. And as you say, he's off the inside gate, which gate 2 has definitely proven with 3 race wins and a second so far to be the place to be.
It has indeed. And Dan Bewley is in gate number 2. Green lights on, tapes are up very sharpish, and once again gate 2 is working really well. Bewley's made the start, he's got to the front. Max Frick there holding the inside, comes through in second place. A real battle for third with Bartosz Zmarzlik getting the better of Robert Lambert as they enter turn number 3 on the opening lap. Once again, that gate 2, look at Robert Lambert coming up the inside of Bartosz Zmarzlik. Really tough move there from Robert Lambert, but Dan Bewley out in front, commanding the heat.
Oh, Max Frick has made a mistake, and Robert Lambert's got a great opportunity up the inside. Yeah, he's through. Fantastic riding from Robert to come from last into second place, but Max Frick is not giving this up.
Yeah, took the opportunity there with Max Frick just running too wide in turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap. Dan Bewley's not worried about that, though. He's into the last lap. He's got a good lead here, commanding lead as they go down the back straight for the last time. Max Frick
for a point.
Yeah, Max Frick now relegated to the back, and that's really disappointing for him. But for Dan Bewley, that's delight. Good win from Dan Bewley. Gate number 2 once again working a treat. And Robert Lambert coming through in second place. It really was topsy-turvy stuff there on the opening lap. Zmarzlik battling hard for 1 point there. And Max Frick, after 2 rides in heat 4 and 5, has still not troubled the scorers. So for Dan Bewley moving on to 4 points, he'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, he certainly will. A race win for Dan Bewley. That's absolutely fantastic. But whilst he was out front enjoying himself, it's all about Robert Lambert.
Yeah, Dan Bewley picks up the 3 points with a fine win. Robert Lambert back in second place, 2 points for him. And Bartosz Zmarzlik in third place, 1 for him. And disappointment once again for Max Frick.
Yeah, disappointing because, you know, Max on the inside gate makes a pretty good jump. Dan Bewley has to work very hard to get to the front there from gate 2. And we can see Robert Lambert there off the outside gates made a cutback and manages to work his way through the field. Fantastic ride from Lambert, but Dan Bewley, gate 2, out front, and actually pulled away in this race while all the action was going on behind him. We can see here now Lambert there on the inside. Zmarzlik just lifting at the end of the straight, just manages to get over Lambert, but then later on in the race, great dive up the inside, just straightened the bike up, kept the bike going forward when Zmarzlik was turning, and superb stuff from Robert.
Yeah, very good ride there from Robert Lambert, and then he was in the right place because of that move to take advantage of Max Frick just running a little bit too wide. So
you have to put yourself in those positions ready to take advantage, and he did exactly that.
Meanwhile, Dan Bewley has stolen the march, and we all know how fast Dan Bewley can be, and he demonstrated it there in fine style in heat number 5. And unfortunately for Max Frick, he just loses out there to Bartosz Marslik as well. So Max Frick will have to do some soul searching after failing to score in his 2 rides. So heat number 6 on the inside, we've got Martin Vasilik, a winner first time out. Freddie Lindgren coming out of gate 2 in blue. Pavel Shapelski coming out of gate 3 in white. And off the outside, we've got Jankovic, the wild card, coming there from gate 4 in yellow. Martin Vasilik, very impressive first time out. Made a smashing start. Can he do it again here? He's got gate number 1. We've got some problems here. And
yeah, wrong helmet colour. Good. Should be in yellow.
Yeah. I do believe he's going to be excluded. Yes, the exclusion light has come on, and that's desperately disappointing for Jankovic. Just a bit of a schoolboy error there in truth. Yeah, and that's a disappointment for him. So he'll have to make his way back to the pit area, and we will see a reserve rider come in to replace him. But don't quite know what to say there. That's a tough one to take.
Yeah, it is. Should be Daniel Klima coming out. The race director Phil Morris there, just telling him he's got the wrong helmet colour on.
So we'll have a slight pause now. So we can now get down to the pits and get some reaction with Dan Bewley.
Yeah, Dan joins me now. He's just quickly grabbing his drinks. Obviously thirsty work. Flying out there. Gate 2 worked well for you.
Yeah, you know, it's the 3rd round and I finally got out front and got to stretch my legs, so over the moon with that, and that was the goal coming into it, just get the first win, but move on from that and try and win the next one.
Bless you, we'll keep going, mate. Awesome ride and good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Yeah, terrific to hear from Dan. It was an impressive ride, that's for sure. Martin Vasilik on the inside in red, Freddie Lindgren coming out of gate number 2 in blue, Shapelski out of gate 3 in white, and Daniel Klima, the reserve rider, coming in yellow on the outside. Green lights on, away we go. And once again, gate number 2 with Freddie Lindgren absolutely roaring away. It really has been a favoured start in the opening races. Martin Vasilik coming through into 2nd place. Got to say there, Pavel Shapelski got in trouble in that first corner and is relegated to the back with Klima, the reserve rider, hanging on to 3rd place. But Freddie Lindgren and that gate number 2, Chris, is really working a treat.
No doubt, it's an advantage at the moment. Martin Vasilik there just getting plenty of lift down the back straight, so allows Freddie Lindgren to extend that lead. Daniel Klima, meanwhile, is showing good pace, actually. He's staying ahead of Shapelski. Shapelski just, I'm not sure if he really made a mistake in the first turn or just made an error in terms of his own judgment moving out wide.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a clip going in, I think, but unsettled him. But nonetheless, it's been bad news for him. But for Freddie Lindgren, showing great pace out in front. Just one more corner to go for the Swedish rider. Coming through there very smoothly indeed. And fast Freddie Lindgren looking really good there. Had all sorts of health problems last year, picks up a very useful win. Long COVID really did sap his energy, but he's fully fit this time around. And a very handy win for Fredrik Lindgren. Heat number 6 goes the way for Sweden, and he'll be chuffed to bits with that. Shapelski missing out that time, and Klima picking up the solitary point. But for Freddie Lindgren, that was, not only did he hit the front, he looked very quick indeed. Lindgren picks up the win, 3 points for him. Martin Vasilik back in 2nd place, 2. Daniel Klima picks up the solitary point, and Pavel Shapelski misses out this time.
Once again, it's about gate 2. We keep going on about it, but to be fair, it seems to be the run to the corner, because Freddie Lindgren there didn't make a great jump, but he just worked the bike to the corner. The first yard or so was not that impressive, but he gets his head down and the bike just takes off. And we can see there, yeah, I think you're right. I think Shapelski just collected a little bit of rubber off the back of Martin Vasilik, unsettled him, and young Daniel Klima there took advantage. And he was pushed hard, but he managed to hang on for the point.
Yeah, overtaking once you get through the first corner at this stage is becoming quite difficult, and the races are getting stretched out. But for the riders out in front, they won't be too worried about that if you keep picking up the points. And of course, Lindgren now moves nicely on to 4 points from his 2 outings so far. Martin Vasilik, after finishing 2nd place, he's got 5, so a good strong start for the Grand Prix for the man from Slovakia. heat number 7. It's up at tapes. On the inside, we've got Jack Holder, a winner first time. Patrick Dudek out of gate number 2 in blue. Maciej Janowski, a winner, also comes out of gate number 3 in white. And off the outside, another winner here is Jason Doyle as well. Very competitive lineup here for heat number 7. Something's got to give, but we've got 3 heat winners going head-to-head this time.
Yeah, we have, and yeah, this is an interesting looking race. It'll be interesting to see now. Gate 1, Jack Holder full of confidence after that race win.
It should be, but Maciej Janowski could be a major threat from gate number 3. Very impressive first time. Doyle also off the outside. Oh, bit of movement from Janowski. The tapes are up and Dudek's made a smashing start from 2. Gate 2 almost is guaranteeing you to get to the first corner in front. Holder pushing him up the inside, neck and neck down the back straight. Now all of a sudden Dudek clamps the door well and truly shut as they come out of the 4th corner on the opening lap. Jack Holder chasing hard. Dudek finally getting his nose in front. Now he's got a bit of breathing space, and for Patrick Dudek this is a bit of relief for him. Definitely down in the dumps after qualifying earlier today.
Yeah, he's only got 10 points in the series before tonight, but looking happy, as you say. Spoke to him earlier today and he seemed confused, if I'm honest. He just didn't know what engine to pick. He said that one week the engine was good, then it wasn't so good, so yeah, he looks more comfortable out front now. He's stretching that lead a little bit. Jason Doyle there in 3rd place, picking up a point, but Maciej Janowski just struggling at the back.
Dudek now coming to the end of the race, looking really good. He'll be relieved with this. We'll see the outsider because the other 3 riders were all heat winners prior to this race, but Patrick Dudek kind of defies the odds there and comes up with a really good win. Again, another rider that's been a little bit off colour in the opening 2 rounds of the World Championship, but that's much more like it from the former world number 2, of course. Pushed Doyle all the way in 2017, and for that man, he'll be relieved, and that will boost his confidence nicely. And so Patrick Dudek picks up the win there, 3 points for him. Jack Holder back in 2nd place, good points for Holder, 2 points for him. Jason Doyle, 1 point for him in 3rd. And Maciej Janowski missing out and just couldn't make an inch on the opposition. Tough to really gain ground at this early stage.
It is, yeah, and we're hearing that Maciej Janowski is getting a warning for his little bit of movement at the start there. He just had a little dip of the clutch before the tapes went up. But Patrick Dudek again, gate 2 working so well, and he just works the clutch, lifts the bike, lifts a little bit, and Jack Holder at this stage looks like he could have a run up the inside, but he just has to back out of it. We can see there Dudek just uses that dirt on the fence. It's a brave move to make, especially if you've got someone roaring up the inside of you, as Jack Holder was.
Yeah, Holder was there, wasn't he? I felt for a moment he might better sneak up the inside.
Yeah, but Dudek just a brave move to use the dirt on the bottom of the fence, just shot him into the corner ahead of Jack Holder.
Yeah, good looking ride for Patrick Dudek, an eye-catching rider, of course, and let's hope that's a return to form for him. As I say, he has found Grand-Prix life in the opening 2 rounds quite tough, and we're up at tapes at heat number 8. This will be the completion of the first 2 blocks of races. That will mean that each rider will have had 2 rides. Mikkel Mikkelsen off the inside in red, Ty Wuffenden out of gate number 2 in blue, Leon Madsen out of gate number 3 in white. And from the outside, Anders Thompson will go from there in the yellow helmet colour. And
it's almost added pressure to come off gate 2 now with so many race wins.
Yeah, it is indeed. In the box seat this time is Ty Wuffenden. He'll be hoping to take full advantage. He will be fully aware of how successful it's been in the opening 7 races. And Leon Madsen alongside him in gate number 3, who was very impressive in his opening ride, very forceful from the Danish rider. Mikkel Mikkelsen, the European champion, on gate number 1. Having a good season in the Grand Prix. Green lights on. Oh, a little bit of twitchiness on the start, and once again gate number 2 has worked a treat for Ty Wuffenden. He hits the first corner in front. Round the outside, here comes Anders Thompson flying into 2nd place. And Mikkel Mikkelsen back in 3rd, with Leon Madsen missing out on the opening lap. But for Ty Wuffenden, gate number 2, well, it's almost guaranteeing you 3 points at this stage.
Yeah, it is. It's almost embarrassing if you miss the start off gate 2 at the moment. And Ty Wuffenden didn't disappoint. The track is starting to progress. We're not seeing the racing improve too much at the moment, but every rider now just chasing the edge of the dirt, so the dirt line is working. We just need to see it develop a little bit more, but at the moment Ty Wolfenden's settled down out front and heading a Danish trio.
He is indeed, but Ty Wolfenden, this will be just what he wants, just what the doctor ordered for the three-time former world champion. Just one corner to go. Good move by Anders Thompson early in the race. But Wolfenden coming through, this will move him on to 4 points after 2 rides. And that gate 2 working a treat for him once again. And Anders Thompson, a good move early in the race to pick up 2nd place. Mikkel Mikkelsen in 3rd, and Leon Madsen just missing out. He'll be disappointed with that. Ty Wolfenden, though, that was a good ride, an impressive ride, and looked like he had a bit of speed as well.
Yeah, he looks quite happy out front. He just needs a bit of fresh air. He just needs to get his confidence up.
Does indeed. Good win by Wolfenden, 3 points for him. Thompson back in 2nd place, 2 points. Mikkel Mikkelsen, 1 point for 3rd, and Leon Madsen will be frustrated with not picking up anything there. Jack Holder leads the way on 5 alongside Martin Veselik. Dan Bewley going well on 4, and Jason Doyle joins him on 4, as does Ty Wolfenden, Frederick Lingren, Patrick Dudek, and Anders Thompson. So very competitive after the first 8 races. Here we see it again then, Chris.
I'm not going to talk about gate 2. Ty makes a great start. In fact, Mikkel Mikkelsen looks like he makes a better jump slightly, but Ty there, you can see him leaning back. You can tell when the bike is spinning and he's leaning back. He's got his body weight a little bit more over the back wheel just to find that traction. You can see there he's leaning forward to begin with. He has to grab the clutch, then he leans back. That's when he wants to get full. Once he's got control of that grip on the back wheel, he wants to make sure he's maximising that, and does it very, very well.
And a good move by Anders Thompson early in the race, scraping the fence to really make that 2nd place is, yeah?
Yeah, Battle of the Danes now for the next 3 places, and yeah, he got the better of him around the first turn. A great move from him. We can see him there with the front wheel in the air.
Okay, super ride there from Ty Wolfenden. We're going to be able to get some more reaction from the pits with Scotty Nichols. He's going to be joined with Robert Lambert now.
Yeah, Robert Lambert joins me now. Robert, there's not been an awful lot of passing, the track's starting to develop, but that was an amazing race for you there.
Yeah, after the first one, obviously getting 0 wasn't good, and we made a few changes and we had a bit of speed then, so that's a good thing, and we just move on to the next race ahead.
Did you feel you had to make significant changes, or was it just a few little subtle tweaks?
Just didn't quite get there on the first corner, so a couple of little tweaks, and yeah, we made some progress.
What's your strategy between the races? Obviously you have Jason Crumb, you've got a good pit crew with you. Do you rely a lot on them to kind of watch and make the judgments, or do you really want to kind of watch the race and study everything yourself? How much do you bounce off them?
Works on what I feel, what people in the team see as well and hear. So, yeah, and then we figure out what we need to do.
Well, it was a fantastic race to pass Smarslik and put him to the back. It's no mean feat. So, well done, Robert. Good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, it was a good ride from Robert Lambert. He had to work hard for that, but by passing Bartosz Smarslik, he was then in a position to take advantage of the mistake by Max Frick, wasn't it? And that enabled him to get into 2nd place.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You've just got to be in a position to take advantage of the slightest mistakes at this level. The guys won't make big mistakes, so you've got to be right there on their back wheel.
And he was indeed, and after a disappointing opening ride, that was a good way for him to get himself on the score chart. We've got Martin Veselik and Jack Holder on 5 points at this stage, and looking good, both of those 2 riders, and got to say both of them have been out of form in truth in the Grand-Prix, so a little bit of a surprise to see them leading the way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It just shows how competitive this lineup is in the Grand-Prix right now, because you've got riders that have a bad start to the Grand-Prix series, have a bad couple of races, a couple of rounds, and then all of a sudden they're leading the next round.
Okay, let's get back down to the pits now with Scotty Nichols. We're going to hear from Ty Wolfenden.
Yeah, Ty Wolfenden joins me. Ty, gate 2 seems to be like absolute dynamite. Did you feel any pressure when you go to gate 2 because it's so good?
No, even though I qualified 9, before qualification, I knew which draw I wanted, and I got the draw that I wanted.
It worked out well then.
Yeah, it worked out good, but yeah, I was sleeping at the start in the first one. We made a setup change before the first heat, and I'm really happy with that compared to qualifying practice. But yeah, I just wasn't ready. I was messing around with my clutch and looked up, the green light was on, caught it, so yeah, I'll be ready from now on.
Naughty boy. 2 questions in one really, gate 2. It's obviously working really, really well. I saw you having a good dig around. How hard is it to kind of go in a different spot? Everyone's going, there's a big rut there. How difficult was it for you mentally to not go in that rut? And also, what do you feel is making gate 2 so much or more advantageous than the rest of the minute?
Well, we wanted gate 2 because in the last 10 years, gate 2 has been the best gate throughout. So yeah, we saw that it was darker when we got here for practice qualifying, so it was going to follow that suit of being good. As far as the rut's concerned, I saw Dudek go out of the race before, and I wanted to go in that rut because he made a blinder, but it was a little bit too deep. The exhaust bottomed out. I could have smashed it off, but I was just more focused on being ready for the gate rather than messing around too much and doing what I did in the first race.
Well, there you go, wakey, you're awake for that one, so well done. Keep it up.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, good to hear from Ty Wolfenden, and quite clearly had a strong plan in place, and it's all gone quite nicely for him so far. He sits on 4 points after 2 outings, so he's well and truly in it, but it's very, very tight already after 2 blocks of races. We're now getting on with the action once again, and heat number 9 coming up pretty shortly. Jankovic looks like he's got the right helmet colour on this time.
That'll be handy.
Yeah, and won't want to make that mistake too many times. That was a pretty brutal way to be thrown out of a race, but nonetheless it is the rules. Freshly prepared track, and we'll have Dan Bewley out here once again, of course, who looked mightily impressive in his second ride, and he looked good. And Jack Holder also going well, and he's up coming from the outside this time.
It's an interesting leaderboard. It's almost like you've taken the current standings and just turned it upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down, you're right. It's quite a surprise after the first 8 races. It's going to be quite a topsy-turvy night, that's for sure. Kovac now up at tapes, looking for a bounce back here, that's for sure, after failing to get amongst it last time. So heat number 9 then, Jankovic on the inside in red. Gate number 2 is Anders Thompson in blue. Dan Bewley will go from gate number 3 in white, and Jack Holder, the Australian, on 5 points will go from the outside in yellow. Freshly prepared track once again, a little bit of water's gone down. Keep an eye on it. Overtaking is at a premium. Got to make your move early in the race, Chris.
Yeah, it is about the start and the first turn at the moment, or certainly as you enter turn 3 on that first lap. That's the important part of the race as it stands at the minute.
Absolutely. So, starting at a premium, if you've got your clutch hand working well, could be a big night for you. Tapes are up now, and away we go. And once again, gate 2 is an absolutely superb start there from Anders Thompson. He hits the first turn, coming through into second place. We've got Dan Bewley, good move from him. He comes into the bottom corner for the first time, but Anders Thompson, that gate number 2, really looking good, but Dan Bewley looking really strong in second place. He's got some speed, putting pressure on the Danish boy out in front.
He is, yeah, he's pulling all the moves. He's just taking a slightly wider line there than Anders Thompson, but he just can't find a way past.
Bewley's faster, no question about it.
No question about that. He could make a good run up the inside here. I think he's just left too big a hole. Too much ground to make up, but he keeps entering the corners just on the outside. Just had to straighten the bike up, get off the gas a little bit there.
Anders Thompson into the last lap under immense pressure from Dan Bewley. Bewley looking for a way through. Touch to the inside this time, but Anders Thompson's got it covered. Jankovic's back in third place. Jack Holder is out the back. Bewley a little bit out of shape there. Thompson has ridden a really good line there. Holds on out in front. Useful win there for Anders Thompson, and he's enjoying a much better Grand-Prix than he did 2 weeks ago in Warsaw. Bewley had more speed, but just could not find a way through. Anders Thompson had eyes in the back of his head in heat number 9.
Yeah, Dan Bewley really was relying, I think, there on a bit of a mistake from Anders Thompson, which never came. He kept it smooth. There's 1 or 2 ruts developing, which we may see used either as an advantage or people making mistakes through them, but great ride from Anders Thompson.
Well, Anders Thompson is having a really good night. He had 4 points prior to that, so he moves nicely on to 7. 3 points for him. Good win for Thompson. Bewley back in second place, 2 points. Jankovic picking up 1 point in third place, and Jack Holder this time missing out. And we'll see this again.
Yeah, cracking start from gate 2 there for Anders Thompson. Dan Bewley he's just turned back. He's just put the pressure there on the rider in red, Jankovic, as they came off the first turn. And he pushed hard all race to try and do something about the race leader, Anders Thompson. He was entering the corners wider. He was trying to time a cut back to make a long run up the inside, but on a couple of occasions like that one there, he's just had to straighten the bike up, and that's just stopped his run and his momentum.
Yeah, he rode really nicely, but he worked the track as hard as he could. Very nearly ran in the back of Anders Thompson there, and that sort of killed his momentum at a vital stage.
Happened a couple of times in that race, yeah.
Yeah, just a vital moment. Just possibly, if he just kept it going, he may have been out of net pass, but a strong ride there from Dan Bewley. But for Anders Thompson, got to say, that was an impressive ride, and 7 points from 3 outings. He'll be very pleased with that indeed. Heat number 10 coming up for us. And another very impressive looking lineup here for sure, with Leon Madsen there on the inside. Line up for Heat 10, Madsen in red on the inside, Bartosz Marslik coming out of gate number 2 in blue, Patrick Dudek, a winner last time, coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Pavel Szapelski, who had a disappointing ride last time, will go from the outside in yellow. And Bartosz Marslik, well, he hasn't won a race so far this evening, but he's got that favoured gate number 2, must be favourite this time.
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? A man with his speed. And Leon Madsen, he could be pushing him hard, needs points.
We go now, green light is on. Clips are up and away we go, and Smarslik and gate number 2 working a treat. He's clear into the first corner, hugging the inside. Bit of action going on behind him. Leon Madsen hanging on to second place. Patrick Dudek coming into third. Szapelski relegated to the back, but once again we're seeing gate number 2 working overtime, and Bartosz Smarslik is very grateful for that. Looking like he's going to be set fair for his first win of the evening.
Yeah, Bartosz taking full advantage of that gate position advantage. And Leon Madsen, he's only on 2 points ahead of this race. Move him on to 4, the pressure's still on him. And but Bartosz Smarslik as well, he's just checking out, isn't he? So much speed.
He has plenty of speed. He had plenty of speed this afternoon with topping the time sheets in the qualifying. Coming smoothly now into the last lap. It's pulled away out in front. Madsen steady away in second place. Dudek, a winner last time out, with third place here. But for Bartosz Smarslik, this will be gratefully received. Doubles his score, moving on to 6. First win of the night for the 2-time former champ. World number 2, leading the championship, of course, on 32 points coming into this evening. And a good winner of heat number 10. Wonder how long gate 2's going to work for, because it really has dominated proceedings so far.
I'm not sure I've ever seen such a dominant gate position. It's dropped 1 point all night, and that was in the very first race.
Incredible. And but he doesn't miss out. 3 points for Bartosz Smarslik. Leon Madsen is second, 2 points for him. Patrick Dudek picks up 1 point in third place, and Szapelski missing out at the back. And the replays once again will see what Bartosz Smarslik did. They didn't have to work that hard, in truth, did he?
No, what he had to do was drop the clutch, and that was it. I mean, look at the lead he's got as they just come off the first turn. He's just got the bike hooking up all the way from the start, all the way around the first turn. Everybody else sort of sorting themselves out, and he's gone already, but you can see there Dudek just stopping the run of Szapelski off that turn. He says, no, there's no way you're coming up the inside of me. And 1 point, as we know in this Grand-Prix series, can make all the difference to make those semi-finals.
Yeah.
And Patrick Dudek having a slightly better night tonight.
Yes, he looks improved, a winner in his previous ride, and picked up 4 points in his last 2 outings, so that's encouraging for him. But for Bartosz Smarslik, after that ride, all of a sudden he's rocketed up the score charts. He's on 6 points, and he'll be pleased with that, and that's a good foundation to work on. But 9 points I would think you're going to be looking for tonight to secure that semi-final spot, and he'll be pleased that he got his nose in front there.
He never has a sweat on once he sits down in his pit bay after a race.
Very fit young man. Heat number 11 then. Ty Wolfenden will go from the inside in red. Robert Lambert will go from gate number 2 in blue. Jason Doyle in white. gate number 3, and Martin Vasilik, who's enjoying a really good Grand Prix. He will go from the outside in yellow. Ty Whiffenden, who was pleased to be able to choose that starting position for this evening's Grand Prix, has the inside. Lambert, who had a good ride, good strong ride last time, will come out of that gate number 2. Can he keep the magic going here in the Marquetta, coming away from that position? Settling down for heat number 11 then. Drapes are up now and away we go, and he's missed it, Lambert. Great start there on the inside for Ty Whiffenden. He's joined in the first corner now by Martin Vasilik and Robert Lambert. Vasilik coming through on the outside as they enter turn 3 on the opening lap. Martin Vasilik round the outside, dropping back to the inside. No, just cost him a little bit too much speed. And Jason Doyle is at the back, and that's disappointment for him. But for Ty Whiffenden, good start from the inside. Not looking super quick, but he is in charge. He is controlling the race.
Yeah, Martin Vasilik there, real great turn down on turns 3 and 4 because the bike drove just a little bit too hard. He knew he'd gone across the corner, he knew he'd left far too big a hole, and he just turned the bike, closed the gap back down. It's all going on at the back now. Jason Doyle almost up the inside of Robert Lambert.
It was indeed, and it was a lot of battling going on for third place, but Robert Lambert has now got a little bit of a cushion. But for Ty Whiffenden out in front, he's been kept very honest there by the speed of Martin Vasilik back in second place. But a superb start from the inside, and Ty Whiffenden wins in style. And a second race win of the night. Encouraging signs for Ty Whiffenden, turning his form around here this evening in the Marquetta. And he'll be very pleased indeed to win from the inside. Robert Lambert just lifting too much there, and that killed his opportunity to get his nose in front on the run to the first corner.
Yeah, great ride from Ty, and he's broken that gate 2 duck with a race from race win from gate 1.
3 points for Ty Whiffenden, a good win for him. Martin Vasilik having a good Grand Prix, 2 points. Robert Lambert back in third place, 1 point. And Jason Doyle, after a good opening ride, that's a disappointing 4th place for him.
Yeah, disappointing for Jason Doyle after a decent start to the night, but it's good to see gate 1 working, and that Ty Whiffenden will say thank you very much. I'll take that. Great ride from him. Smoothed out, took the dirt line straight away. It's good to see him looking forward. He's not looking back tonight. He just wants to go as quick as he can. No defensive riding. And see Lambert there, legs out. He knows the bike's spinning. He knows he hasn't made a good start. And Martin Vasilik, he was working the outside here, makes a good run there on Lambert. Lambert has a look across, decides it's maybe a little bit too late to completely shut the door, but great turn down here on the first lap from Martin Vasilik because he goes across the corner. He realises he's gone a little bit too wide. He realises he's left a far too big a hole up the inside, has the presence of mind to now chop back, make sure that nobody can come through that gap.
Clever riding also from Whiffenden there. He just placed the bike absolutely beautifully there. Just really did just subtly make Martin Vasilik just run a little bit wider than he really wanted to. But delight for Ty Whiffenden, back-to-back heat wins, and he moves nicely on to 7 points. And he's looking good and looking set fair for the semi-finals tonight. Heat number 12 then. We're up at tapes, and Max Frick will go from the inside in red. Gate number 2 is for Mikkel Mikkelsen in blue. Freddie Lindgren, looking good also, will go from the gate number 3 in white. And Maciej Janowski, after a disappointing outing last time, goes from the outside in yellow. And Maciej Janowski started really well, but just couldn't make an impact in his second outing.
No, started with a win, looked fast, composed, happy, and then runs a last in his second one. So really all these riders sort of needing points. Max Frick certainly, Mikkel Mikkelsen also.
Absolutely. Heat number 12 then. Tapes are up and away we go. Gate number 1 now beginning to work, and Max Frick has got there. Freddie Lindgren's up the inside, very tight indeed. Mikkel Mikkelsen got squeezed out there and has got relegated to the back, with Janowski coming through into third place. But Max Frick, who hasn't scored a point so far this evening, made a good start from the inside there, made that first corner his. Freddie Lindgren is giving chase in second place, but for Max Frick, this is just what he really needed.
Yeah, it is. He needed to turn his night around. I still think pressure's on him. He's going to need at least 1 more race win in the second, if not 2 race wins. But looking good out front. The battle is on now. Janowski putting pressure on Lindgren, but it got so tight coming off turn 1 on the first lap.
It did indeed. They're into the last lap now. Max Frick's looking good out in front. Freddie Lindgren there hanging on in second place. Janowski's worked hard in third, but Freddie Lindgren's ridden a really good line through the first turn. And now through that last turn, out of gate corner number 4, and Max Frick hangs on. It got tight for second place. Janowski pushing hard to try and get the better of Freddie Lindgren, but fails to do so. But for Max Frick, off the inside gate, he'll be really pleased with that, giving himself a slim chance of the semi-final. Still lots of work to be done. I would think probably 2 wins will be required for him to make the semi-finals, but nonetheless, got himself out in front and showed good speed.
He did, yeah. Once he got out front, just rode in the edge of the dirt there. And we know he's fast there. He was fast there in qualifying.
Max Frick wins the race. He gets 3 points. Freddie Lindgren back in second place, 2 points for him. Matsej Janowski fast in third, but just picks up the 1 point. And Mikko Mikkelsen just squeezed out. Here's the standings after 3 outings each. 7 points for Ty Wofferton, Martin Vasilik, Anders Thompson. 6 points for Bewley, Smarslik and Freddie Lindgren, and Jack Holder and Dudek on 5 points apiece. So it's taking shape very nicely, and we will have some track grading going on now before heat number 13, where we will see Matsej Janowski once again. So the replays of the race, and gate number 1 all of a sudden coming good.
To the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see another race win, second race in succession there, where the race winner comes from the inside gate. And Max makes a good start, moves across the track, then realises that they're all coming back up the inside. Gets awfully tight there for Mikkelsen. He's certainly stuck in the sandwich there. He's got a rider coming across him. He's got one coming back. And, well, I don't know how they sort of all didn't clash there, but Janowski takes full advantage of the melee coming out of the first turn.
Just shows you how things can change so very quickly there for Mikkelsen. He was right there, and then suddenly he was relegated to the back.
In the mix, but too much going on around him. He just had a little bit to get off the throttle, and Janowski takes full advantage of it.
He did indeed, but an encouraging ride from Max Frick out in front. Desperately needed, of course, after failing to score in his opening 2 rides. We will be going down to the pits very shortly, but we are going to be able to hear from Anders Thompson very shortly. And we can get down to Scotty Nichols with Anders Thompson.
Yeah, Anders Thompson joins me. Anders, 3rd GP and you didn't touch your tapes.
Yeah, some new need to happen sometimes.
Yeah, you know what? But you're having a great night, 7 points. It's looking really good. Always smiling though.
Yeah, you know, this is my passion. I really like the Speedway, so yeah, I do the racing with a smile on.
Yeah, is that part of your build-up? Do you ever get kind of flustered or rattled? Because it's a high-pressure environment.
You know, you have one life, and I just enjoy every single moment. And especially when I'm racing, is something that, yeah, it makes me happy, you know. And yeah, and racing on this track is also really, really great for me.
How's the track developing now? I'm seeing a racing line is starting to appear, but there's a few little ruts appearing.
Yeah, there's some small ruts. Compared to yesterday, it's beautiful. You know, we are professional, all the riders, and all of us could ride on small ruts. So I think the track is really great.
Good. And how are you settling in GP life now? You've had 1 year under your belt. You're coming in right now. I mean, you've shown a lot of character to turn around in Croatia. Warsaw was a bit tough, but tonight you bounced back again.
Yeah, you know, I had one full season last year in the Grand-Prix, and this year I feel more prepared. Of course, Warsaw wasn't my night. One more touch the tape. But, you know, there was one-day track, and I don't have too much experience on one-day tracks. Here I've been once, and yeah, I have a pretty good setup in the moment.
Yeah, we'll keep that setup going. Good luck for the rest of the night.
Cheers, buddy.
Yep. Super interview there with Anders Thompson with a big beaming smile.
Pretty laid-back character, isn't he?
He is indeed. So we can now reflect on some highlights of what we've seen so far from the opening 12 heats now. So now we're waiting patiently for heat number 13. Fabulous view there of Prague in the distance. And it is a wonderful place to visit, not just for Speedway. The city itself has also got wonderful architecture, bars and restaurants. It's a popular destination for tourists. And as I say, we've been coming here for 28 times, and we're always delighted to be in this part of the world, and we're enjoying a good Grand Prix. Riders just beginning to get themselves organised for the upcoming race. Each rider has completed 3 outings now, and it's beginning to take shape nicely. 1 or 2 riders there with Jason Doyle and Janowski in particular, Leon Madsen on 4 points. They want to turn that around. There's time to do it with 2 more qualifying heats to come for those riders, but they're going to have to work hard. And Max Frick, also a winner 2 weeks ago, just on 3 points. He's going to need to keep that ball rolling now, Chris.
Yeah, and it's an interesting leaderboard actually, because if you look at it, with everybody dropping points all over the place, it's pretty much right down to 14th place, and Szafowski could actually still qualify. So, so it's a pretty open round, this one.
Yeah, it's wide open at this stage, with 2 qualifying races each for these SGP riders to come. And we'll see Dan Bewley again here coming out of the outside gate. Maciej Janowski's in here as well, and he's got some work to do. He's on 4 points. Leon Madsen the same as well. Maciej Janowski will go on the inside gate, and that's been working well in the last couple of heats, so he'll be looking forward to that, I'm sure. And we've got the heart rate monitors on. They're fairly sensible heart rates as they ride sensibly as they make their way towards the start. But as soon as they get to the tapes, I'm sure they'll start to rise a bit. They have already for Janowski. Leon Madsen just doing a little bit of testing there. Jumped on a spare bike, doing a practice start. Not always ideal, this. Probably searching for a setup. Not entirely happy with the way the bike's been working in these first 3 rides. Settled on the bike now, and he's on his way to tapes. So looks like he's changed his bike here. That looks like a clean bike coming up to the tapes for his 4th outing. So riders keenly looking on. Heat number 13. On the inside we've got Maciej Janowski, a winner here last year, of course. He did ride brilliantly in the double header here in 2022. A win on the first night and a 2nd place on the 2nd evening, and went away with a whole hatful of points. On the inside is Janowski in red. Leon Madsen in gate number 2 on a fresh bike, blue helmet colour for him. Martin Vasilik coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Dan Bewley will go from the outside in yellow. And Martin Vasilik is looking good. He's got 7 points. Best Grand Prix of the year by far. Looking set for the semi-finals. Martin disappointing in the first 2 rounds, but we know he's much better than that, and he's beginning to show some good form. He's a good starter if he can keep it going now. Wouldn't be a surprise at all for him to make the semi-finals and go right through to the final.
He's looked a lot quicker out on track as well tonight. It's been extremely competitive. He's, you know, when he's been behind, he's been trying to overtake people.
Yeah, he's had speed, hasn't he? So clearly confident. Bike setup is just about spot on. Heat 13's away and the tapes are up, and it's a really good start once again for Martin Vasilik out of gate number 3. Gets the better of Maciej Janowski, who comes through in 2nd place. Leon Madsen in 3rd, and Dan Bewley misses out off the outside gate. But for Martin Vasilik, really looking good. Janowski pushing hard in 2nd place, but got to say that was an impressive start from gate number 3 for Martin Vasilik.
So determined from the start. He just willing that bike to the corner. There was no way anybody was going to get there before him, and now he's settled down, he's quick, he's smooth on the track, as we heard the riders saying in during the interviews there, that the track is cutting up just a little
Bewley's
bit.
Gone down. Disappointment for the British rider.
Trying hard at the back.
Might see the red lights come on here in actual fact. He can't get off the track into the last lap, and only now, very, very late.
A little bit late.
Very late indeed. Martin Vasilik actually had to take avoiding action there. Disappointment for Bewley, and disappointment for Martin Vasilik.
Yeah, he'll be frustrated with that.
Because we will have to have a rerun now with 3 riders. And when you're that far into a race, it's always disappointing to have it stopped with the red light and have it done again. Artur Kushmerek there, little bit late in my opinion, putting the red light on, because you could see that Dan Bewley was struggling to get to his feet.
Yeah, he was. I think the referee thought, well, he's not pinned under the bike, he should be able to get up, but you know, you can never rely on that.
No, Martin Vasilik did well to avoid him. will be a touch frustrated that he wasn't able to complete the race out in front after making such a great start from the gate number 3. There'll be plenty of work going on now, that's for sure. There is some concern for Dan Bewley, actually. He must have fallen awkwardly.
Yeah, he got up, but I think it looked like he was hobbling and he's gone back down again.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed that he's okay. And it's sometimes the adrenaline is pumping through your veins, you get to your feet, and then you suddenly realise that, oh, no, maybe I oughtn't to. I'll just sit back down for a moment just to gather myself.
Magic Janowski gets another go from gate 1. I think he would have been disappointed not to have got to the corner in front in that one.
Absolutely. We are seeing a result come up here, so it looks like we may well be declaring that. I have seen them rerun, actually, in the FIM staged event. So Martin Vasilek looks like he's been declared the winner there. And
yeah, Dan Bewley's up on his feet.
That's good news. So a good ride there for Martin Vasilek, 3 points for him. And Matej Janowski in second place, with Leon Madsen in third. So
you ever get to see it again? I didn't really see what happened. He was battling away with Leon Madsen at the back. Oh, the bike's broken. Yeah, the bike's broken in half.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
I'm sure the bike's, the forks.
Wow, you
I
know,
need to see another angle there. I really can't see what's happened.
Just had a message from Jan Steckman back in the UK, and he's actually just confirmed that the headstock of the bike.
Yeah, the headstock of the bike is broken away on the frame.
Oh
The engine's dug in. It's just sent him over the handlebars.
Wow.
Really awkward looking crash.
Oh, no wonder he feels a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And,
down on that left knee as well.
That is extremely rare.
That's actually the forks have broken because the bolt is still in the headstock, so something on the forks is broken.
Yeah, uncomfortable there for Dan Bewley, and he makes his way back to the pits. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that Dan can take his final ride tonight, but an awkward moment for him with that problem with the frame on the bike. Right, we can hear from Martin Vasilek now. He joins Scotty Nichols.
Yeah, Martin joins me now. Just real quick, Martin, I know you're focused, but you've had a massive turnaround, a great night for you so far.
Yeah, like you say, so far everything pretty good. With my team, we find a good setup, and yeah, I'm pleased for that, and just keep focused and looking forward for the rest of the day.
Good luck, mate. Keep it up.
Mate. Thank you.
Yeah, looking good, Martin Vasilek. He's safely through to the semi-finals already, and looking strong out there. Great start from gate number 3, and certainly that's been the key to his success so far this evening. He's made great jumps away from the tapes.
Yeah, he's looking more determined tonight. He's looking aggressive on the bike. He's just, he really wants it. You know, I think he's realised that 2 rounds have gone, and he needs to turn things around quite quickly.
Yeah, he has, and it's proving to be the case. These conditions are suiting him. And we're moving along swiftly. We've got heat number 14 coming up now, and we've got Pavel Shapelski, who is finding it tough out there tonight. He languishes down in 14th place at this stage, needing a heat win here. He's the man there we're focusing on, as he does a bit of work there on the inside gate. Got Max Frick out here as well, the winner last time. Ty Woofenden going great wheel. Yeah, pressure on, but also Woofenden going well as well. Yep. So, heat number 14. Not too much longer to go. And Dan Bewley, I'm sure, will be riding his spare bike, if at all possible, but it does look like they're going to try and repair it if at all possible. But the lineup for heat 14 then, on the inside is Pavel Shapelski in red. Max Frick goes out of gate number 2 in blue. Ty Woofenden will go from gate number 3 in white, and Jack Holder, who started strongly and has faded a little bit lately, he goes from the outside in yellow.
It's tough from the outside gate not working particularly well.
No, it isn't. It's tough from there. You're absolutely right. Max Frick, who failed to score in his first 2 rides, a winner last time, a winner, of course, 2 weeks ago in the Narodowy in Warsaw, looking to keep his night on track here if he can manage to win it. all of a sudden he'll have one more opportunity to make the semi-finals. The tapes are up and away we go, and he's made a good start, and it's tight, but Ty Wolfenden out of gate 3 has made a super start. Takes turns through that first turn and stretches away down the back straight. Frick's into second place. Looking good there, Max Frick, but he would have desperately have wanted to got to the front of it if at all possible. Jack Holder back into third place with Pavel Shapelski out in front, but Ty Wolfenden turning on the style here this evening, looking set fair for 3 consecutive wins. Really impressive stuff from the former champion.
Ty Wolfenden looking much more like his old self, and Max Frick in second place. Important points for him. He's still got a chance of making the semis, but we can see Jack Holder, he's got plenty of speed. He really is. In a straight line, he's got a little bit more speed than Max Frick.
He has indeed. Wolfenden's clear away out in front. Max Frick having to work hard in second place to keep Jack Holder behind him. Pavel Shapelski struggling at the back. But the race is all about Ty Wolfenden. One more turn for him. Clearly out in front. A demonstration there from Ty Wolfenden. 3 wins on the spin. He really does look determined tonight. Back to his best here in the Marquetta this evening. Great to see. Moving nicely along, and he moves on to 10 points from his 4 outings so far. And all of a sudden we're seeing the sort of form this man has had over the last decade. That's why he's a 3-time former world champion.
Yeah, riding much more like his old self, determined off the start, riding smooth, riding fast. He's not looking back, he's just focused on winning races.
He wins in style, 3 points for him. Max Frick in second place, 2 points for him. Jack Holder in third, and he picks up a point, and Shapelski misses out once again. Not his night. But for that man who seemed very relaxed between qualifying and the race meeting itself, has got something about him tonight. Riding really nicely.
He is, and even though he's sort of disappointed in qualifying, says he got the draw pick that he wanted, and it seems to be certainly working for him in his last 3 races with 3 race wins. Great stuff coming from gate 3 there. And Max Frick possibly a little disappointed having got across the rider Shapelski there in gate 1. But finds Ty Wolfenden in front of him. Jack Holder, throughout the race, plenty of straight line speed, determined effort as he came into the last turn on the last lap, but just runs a little bit too wide, turns the bike far too hard, kills that momentum.
He was hanging on to it there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was running wide, but Max Frick hangs on in second place. But I do believe that Max Frick is going to need a win in his last one if he's going to make the semi-finals. This man is already there. And all of a sudden we're seeing Ty Wolfenden really turning on the style here in Prague this evening. Heat 15, and up at tapes on the inside is Anders Thompson in red, Jason Doyle in gate number 2 in blue, Fredrik Lindgren coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Bartosz Marslik, a winner last time. He's got 6 points, he'll go from the outside in yellow. Needs to keep building on that, Bartosz Marslik. And as I say, it's going to get really tight when we come to the conclusion of the qualifying heats, that's for sure. Always does. Difficult to overtake once the race settles down. So once again, the emphasis on making a good start is absolutely paramount here tonight in the Marquetta Stadium. Green lights on. Away we go. Jason Doyle is left out of gate number 2, but it's lifted. He just about hangs onto it, and he's hit the front. Bartosz Marslik in the thick of the action. Freddie Lindgren round the outside.
Oh, here he comes.
Trying to get up the inside, but Jason Doyle slams the door shut. Doyle responding well after a disappointing ride last time. Bartosz Marslik diving up the inside of Freddie Lindgren, forcing his way through into second place. Now setting about, Jason Doyle out in front. Keep your eyes on Smarslik, he's not done yet.
So much speed, Smarslik. The bike looks a little bit difficult to ride, even on the slick. He's getting him a little bit more traction than maybe is ideal. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there. Could have let Freddie Lindgren back up the inside, but this race win would move Doyle on to 7 points and give him a chance of a semi-final spot.
Would indeed. He's out in front. He's got a nice cushion there with 1 lap to go. Now all of a sudden Bartosz Marslik is coming under pressure from Freddie Lindgren back in third place. 1 more corner to go for the Australian. Through there he goes nice and smoothly. Freddie Lindgren trying a real blast around the outside. It's going to get tight on the run into the line. Oh, Bartosz Marslik just about hangs on for second place. Anders Thompson disappointing at the back that time. Got to say that Jason Doyle, that was more like he did lift quite violently initially and just about kept it going to the first corner, but once he got there, he dominated the race. An important ride there for Jason Doyle.
Very much so, and it showed real determination, having just lifted off the start a little bit too much as it leapt down at the start, and looked like it killed the momentum, but he was absolutely determined to keep it going.
Yeah, after 2 disappointing rides, picks up his second heat win of the night. Here we see the run to the line. It did get tight. Offensive that Schmarzlik does hang on. Yeah, it was, he wins there by about half a bike length. Well, maybe not quite as much. Yeah, it was tight, but...
Maybe half an inch.
Half an inch. It was just the width of a front wheel. So Schmarzlik there coming under pressure at the end of the race, but he picks up the second place. But for that man, that was a crucial win at a vital stage of the night. So 3 points for Jason Doyle down in front. Bartosz Schmarzlik hanging on for second place. 2 points for him, and Freddie Lindgren won back in third. And Anders Thompson missing out this time.
Bartosz Schmarzlik off the outside gate had to work very hard in this race for his 2 points. He's in last place here, just collects a rut round the first turn, and that could have gone horribly wrong, but a man of his calibre just getting things under control very, very quickly. But Jason Doyle from the start, wasn't a clean start for him, but he showed real grit and determination to keep the bike driving into the corner, hits the front and doesn't look back from there. But Schmarzlik working very hard, as we expect him to, as we see him week in, week out, making a big, long, straight dive, bobbing up the inside. Move out the way, Freddie Lindgren, I'm coming through. But
yeah, classy move that.
Coming back at him.
Yeah, classy move, but he didn't have a lot of speed in second place. Freddie Lindgren was certainly there or thereabouts, right to the checkered flag.
Yeah, so close in the finish.
Yeah, another 10 yards, and it could have been a different result there, but for that man, 7 points from his 4 outings with 1 to come. And a chance of making the semi-finals. He won't want to give that up now. He's in a good position. He's battled hard. So we're up at tapes again, and heat number 16. On the inside is Robert Lambert in red. Jankovic coming out of gate 2 in blue. Mikael Mikkelsen will come out of gate number 3 in white, and Patrick Dudek will go from the outside in yellow. And Patrick Dudek, who's had a heat win tonight, but still with plenty of work to do. He's on 5 points. A race win here again will give him a chance. So still a lot to race for now.
Everything to race for. Robert Lambert's been in the mix, but he really needs a race win here.
He does. He's on the inside gate. We've seen heat wins from there, so needs to take advantage if he wants that semi-final berth, that's for sure. Heat number 16, the completion of the 4th group of heats, and away we go. Jankovic makes a good jump out of gate number 2, but it's Mikael Mikkelsen out of gate 3 that makes that first turn. Here's Lambert through the inside in 3rd place. Here comes Dudek as well around the outside, but Kovac, the wild card, makes the 2nd place his, and he's hanging on there nicely there for that. But Mikael Mikkelsen, who we haven't seen the best of so far this evening, it's more like it from him. A good start from gate 3. And he's got plenty of speed out in front.
Yeah, 1 point to his name. I'm not sure that going into the last block with 4 points is going to be enough for Mikael Mikkelsen. And Robert Lambert scrapping for that single point at the back with Patrick Dudek. Looks like he's got the better of him now, though Dudek's made a cutback. But I think Robert Lambert now has settled into 3rd place. Great ride from Jankovic, the wild card there. 2nd place at the moment.
Yeah, Kovac doing a nice job in 2nd place, but Mikael Mikkelsen had a disappointing night so far when he got squeezed out earlier on. Really seemed to knock his confidence, but he's responded nicely here. Coming through that last corner, wins heat 16 quite comfortably in the end. Jankovic, 2nd place. And Robert Lambert a little bit off the pace, having to work hard to hang on to 3rd place there. But for Mikkelsen, a fine ride from him. Good start, strong first corner. And from then on, it was pretty plain sailing for the rider who lies in 2nd place coming into round number 3 here in the Marquetta Stadium. So Robert Lambert chipping away, but doesn't look too easy for him, but he's in the mix. The result then, Mikael Mikkelsen 3 points for him, Jankovic in 2nd place 2 points, Robert Lambert back in 3rd 1 point, and Patrick Dudek missing out, and that's a blow for Patrick Dudek after an encouraging ride earlier on. The standings after 4 rides, 10 points for both Martin Vaculik and Woofenden, 8 points for Schmarzlik, Doyle, Thompson and Lindgren on 7, Janowski on 6 and Jack Holder on 6, Dan Bewley on 6, but we keep our fingers crossed for him. Max Frick with work to do on 5.
So many points dropped, it really is tight.
Seeing it again now, Chris.
Yeah, Jankovic battles his way to the turn there, but he just gets beaten by the rider in white, Mikkel Mikkelsen from gate 3. Just gets on that dirt line straight away and pretty much checks out. Disappointing ride really there for Patrick Dudek off the outside gate, and was lying in third place for a while, but Robert Lambert gets the better of him. Chases down Jankovic later in the race, but just cannot find the speed. The local rider, a bit of track knowledge, and Mikkel Mikkelsen's going to be disappointed with his night's work. I don't think 7 points would be enough for him.
No, he may just miss out this evening after a poor start for the evening. Got to say, Patrick Dudek also, that gate number 4 is really proving to be tough tonight. Bartosz Marslik did very well indeed to pick up 2 points in his last ride from there, where he battled so hard. Really did show a lot of grit and determination to pick up second place. Mikkel Mikkelsen, well, that's the sort of form we've seen from him, but it might not be a final on the cards for him here tonight, but he'll just keep battling as hard as he can. Every point is vital, of course, across the Grand-Prix series. It's a new era of Speedway. Discovery Sports events, of course, coming through and giving a new image to the sport. And we look forward to the last 4 heats for the qualifying.
Imagine a community where millions invest in stocks, share ideas, strategies, and beyond.
To the moon?
eToro, the power of social investing. Join 25 million users worldwide. Get the eToro app today.
Some things are a matter of taste. But when sport is your life, the only things that matter are numbers, stats, and scores. Having them instantly at your fingertips makes life a totally different game. Flash Score, game-changing numbers.
This was a real test, pushing EE full fiber to the limit.
Hi, this is Cambridge Airport, over your EE router. Video feeds, the data feeds, all of this is real time.
Step 1 Alpha Air Suburb, you're up, so you're on frequency.
Step 1 Alpha, maintaining 3,000 feet, heading 050 degrees.
Runway 23 available for landing.
Copy, Step 1 Alpha. Somebody wanted to say hello.
Congratulations, everybody. Well
I
done.
can't believe we just landed a plane.
This is broadband that can handle anything. This is full fiber from EE.
How does HelloFresh make mealtimes easy? Well, a wide range of recipes everyone will enjoy. Delivered to your door at a time that suits you. Everything you need to make home cooking effortless. Whatever your plans, you're covered. Order your box now at hellofresh.co.uk.
At Simba, we've re-engineered the mattress with 10 unique hybrid layers. Start your 200-night free trial.
Do this.
My lunch break.
Take my breath away and make it last forever.
At Lloyds Bank, we will always be by your side.
Triple Mackay, White Mackay, triple mature the whiskey for
I think we need a little bit more maturity. Yeah?
White Mackay, triple mature the whiskey for a smoother, richer taste.
Yeah, it's still not enough. Guys, can you mature it again for me, please? Thank you.
White Mackay, triple mature the whiskey for a smoother, richer taste.
It's the third maturation that makes all the difference. White and Mackay.
Zane, salon director, creative genius. Avoiding making tax digital because you can't even right now?
But what if I mess up and go to tax jail?
QuickBooks error checker means fewer mistakes.
Love that attention to detail.
Right, riders now just waiting patiently for their last ride of the qualifying races. They've been released by Phil Morris, the race director. Track grading has happened, a little bit of water on. And I still think that tonight is all going to be about making a good start in the first turn. I don't see, normally by this stage, I sense that the track may have evolved a little bit more. But this track has had a lot of action over 2 days, and in truth, I can understand it. It's understandable that the track has ridden a little bit placid in that regard.
Yeah, given all the things that the track staff have faced with the weather yesterday, and the amount of laps that these guys and the SGP2 guys yesterday have done on it, I think it's held up quite well, to be honest.
Yeah, it has indeed. And good to see Dan Bewley out there. Jason Doyle keenly looking on. The nerves will be going through his veins with a big race to come. He's on 7. He'll need points in that one. And it's work to be done. Jason Doyle will go out of gate number 1 in heat 19, so a couple of races to wait. But pleased to see Ty Woofenden back firing on all cylinders here in the Marquetta Stadium.
Must have been a horrible feeling for Dan Bewley when that bike broke in half. Well, no warning, just suddenly the front end's disappeared from you. Exactly. Handlebars are going down.
Exactly, you'll be thinking, what on earth is happening? Right, Dan Bewley on the inside in red. And alongside him in gate number 2 is Ty Woofenden in blue, and Patrick Dudek goes from gate number 3 in white, and Freddie Lingman going from the outside in the yellow helmet cutter. Freddie also going well tonight. He's in 6th place as he comes into his last ride, showing some good form so far. He's on 7 points as it stands, so needs points out of this last ride. Cannot relax, needs to keep pushing on, had a good result. Touch fortunate in the semi-finals 2 weeks ago in Warsaw, because that man on screen briefly, Schmarslik, made that mistake but took full advantage of it. Woofenden out of gate number 2. Can he make it work once again now? Green light is on. Tapes are up away sharp. It's Dan Bewley makes a good jump, but Woofenden, what a run to the first corner from him. Didn't make the start, but the bike drove really nicely. And once again, he's hit the front. Bewley charging hard in 2nd place. Patrick Dudek back in 3rd. Freddie Lingman with work to do as they complete the opening lap. He's out the back. Dan Bewley now beginning to wind it on, nearly running in the back. In the Ty Woofenden, he's got plenty of speed in 2nd place.
Once again, Dan Bewley showing that he's got plenty of speed out on track. Ty Woofenden is under immense pressure from the young Brit behind him, and he's just moved out. He's got so much speed, he just can't seem to find a way past. And you have to say Ty Woofenden at the moment riding the absolute perfect line to block him.
Yeah, well, he knows his way round here, that's for sure. In the Marquetta Stadium, 1 more lap to go. Can Bewley do anything about the man out in front, Ty Woofenden? I would suggest not. This is a disappointment for Freddie Lingman out the back. That could prove to be really quite crucial in the outcome of the qualifying races. But for Ty Woofenden, moving sweetly on to 13 points. Best result of the season so far for Ty Woofenden. You can see how much it means to him. Really has got the bit between his teeth here this evening. And Ty Woofenden, quite clearly the most consistent rider so far here tonight. Qualifies with 13 points for the semi. He's going to have a good pick. I would suggest he may well go for gate number 2 in his semi-final. But didn't make the drop, but got it to the first corner. 3 points for Woofenden. Dan Bewley fast in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Patrick Dudek back in 3rd, 1 point for him. And Freddie Lingman misses out.
Ty Woofenden, gate 2, doesn't make a perfect jump. It looks like the bike's spinning a bit, but he's determined to get to the corner. Pulls it clear, but a great ride from Dan Bewley. You can see there, he just rides across the front of Dudek as they leave the first turn. But yeah, Ty Woofenden, it's an even break, but he's just pulls clear going into the corner. And Dan Bewley with a smart ride, show lots of pace, certainly in the first couple of laps, looked faster than Ty Woofenden, but it just seemed the more he tried, the more he went backwards. But
frustrating.
Another great ride from him though.
Yeah, an encouraging ride from Dan Bewley after a really quite a bizarre accident he had with a frame breakage in his previous ride. And at this stage of the race, you've got to believe that he was looking really set fair to try and get the better of Woofenden out the front.
Ty'd have left just a little bit more space there, and he could have kept that straight line speed going. He would have been past.
Yeah, but it wasn't to be, with Woofenden riding a very clever race out in front. And as I say, if he can keep that bike working to the first corner like it has done so far in the qualifying races, then he could well be the man to beat. And and we've got 3 more qualifying heats to come, and we're up at tapes for heat 18 already. And riders on the inside there, Robert Lambert in red in gate number 1, Pavel Shapelski coming out of gate number 2 in blue, Maciej Janowski with work to do coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Anders Thompson, who failed to score last time, also with a bit of pressure on now, will go from the outside in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah, Janowski and Anders Thompson both need points in this race, coming off the outside gates.
Absolutely right.
You have to say Janowski's probably got the advantage as far as the start line goes. Gate 3 not working too badly.
No, we've seen race wins from there. Martin Vashlik comes to mind as well. He made a really good run to the first corner. So here we go, heat number 18 then. Green light is on and the tapes are up very sharpish. Robert Lambert gets away nicely. Janowski's there with him, and Janowski's made a nice run through that first corner. It's tight with Shapelski on the inside as well, but Janowski powers down the back straight and fires himself to the front. Just what he needed when the pressure was really on. Gate number 4, I've got to say that was tough there from Anders Thompson. He's out the back, but for Maciej Janowski, when he really needed it there, Chris, he comes good.
Yeah, he does. This is going to be enough for Maciej Janowski. It's going to put him in a semi-final place. Won't be enough for Anders Thompson at the back, or Robert Lambert in second place, but Robert once again on the pace, and I felt sorry for him in the first turn because he came under fire from the outside and the inside. He chose to stop the run of Shapelski up the inside. That allowed Janowski a clean run around the outside.
Maciej Janowski out in front. He's been kept company there by Robert Lambert, that's for sure. Lambert's working very hard indeed, but it's looking like Maciej Janowski should just about have enough here to win heat number 18. Through that last corner, roaring towards the checkered flag, and Maciej Janowski showing great class and determination there, experience coming to the fore. Great run to the first turn, dictating terms through that. Robert Lambert tried everything he knew, but just couldn't quite get the better of the Polish man. Successful here, of course, last year, and a very important win for Maciej Janowski, and he's moving nicely along now. He moves on to 9 points. That should be plenty for him to go through to the semi-finals. The result then, Maciej Janowski out in front, 3 points for him. Robert Lambert back in second place, 2 points there. Pavel Shapelski picks up the third place. And Anders Thompson has faded in the last couple of outings. The standings after heat number 18 then, 13 points for Woofenden, Vasilik on 10 with a race to come. Maciej Janowski has completed his rides on 9, Bewley also on 8. And we'll wait and see whether that's enough. Bartosz Smarslik on 8, but he's got one more ride to come, as has Jason Doyle. So things will change in the last couple of races, that's for sure. Lindgren there, well, 7 points. Quite possibly could be enough, but Jack Holder also on 6 with a ride to come. That
busy
might just
first turn this Kelvin for Robert Lambert. Look out for the rider in red there. Makes a decent start, middle of the track now. He's got Janowski on the outside. Realises he's got Shapelski on the inside. He's got to deal with one of them, and unfortunately just gets passed by Janowski, who was pretty quick in that race. And his speed is coming at the right time in the meeting. It's put him in a semi-final position. It's going to give him confidence going into that semi-final. And as you said, Anders Thompson at the back in this one, as he was in his previous race after scoring 7 points in his first 3 outings. So it's a disappointing meeting in the end for him.
Yeah, it's a little bit inexplicable. It's hard to understand how he was going so well and then suddenly fading out of the picture, and possibly going to miss out here tonight with the 7 points. We wait to see. We're up at tapes at heat number 19. On the inside in red, it's Jason Doyle. A big race for him. Leon Madsen coming out of gate 2 in blue. Max Frick, also a big race for him, coming out of gate 3 in white. And Jankovic, the wild card, goes from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. But for 2 riders here, or 3 riders in truth, vital points on the line. Sudden death in lots of ways if you're going to try and make
he
that
can't really risk
semi-final.
a second place. I think he's really going to need to win this one.
2 Australians, gates 1 and 3, and away we go. Leon Madsen made a good jump out of gate number 2, and he's got to the first corner in front. Max Frick on the outside, but the turn's not really working. Now gets his wheels in line and charges through into second place. Hugs the inside through turns 3 and 4. Leon Madsen looking really strong out in front. Jason Doyle back in third place. Well, that might be enough. We'll have to wait and see. But for Leon Madsen, really good start from gate number 2, and should have enough speed to hang on out in front.
Yeah, Leon Madsen looking good out front, currently on 5 points. I think this possibly be enough for him, but we'll have to wait and see. Jason Doyle back in third, the pressure's on him now.
It is indeed. Leon Madsen coming good when he really needed to. Max Frick probably needed to win this race if he wanted to make the semi-finals. The opening 2 rides from the Australian failing to score is going to hurt him, that's for sure. He's tried to bounce back as best he could, but out in front, Leon Madsen, second in the World Championship, coming into tonight's Grand Prix. Actually, this is a really good ride at a very vital time for him. Valuable 3 points there for Leon Madsen, coming through well. Gate number 2 working well for him. Jason Doyle on 3rd place. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether that's enough. Jankovic out the back, but for Leon Madsen, I've got to say that was an encouraging ride for him. And at this stage on 8 points, could just about squeak into the semi-finals.
Yeah, he needed that. It's definitely going to come down to count back where it looks things on 8 points.
Leon Madsen picks up the 3 points, a race win for him, the first one of the night. Max Frick, 2 points for him in second. Jason Doyle back in third, 1 point, and Jankovic misses out. The standings then 13 for Wolfenden out in front, but really crucially it's down there on the cut-off line in 8th place with Max Frick after completing his qualifying rides on 7. And you've got to say that Jack Holder is the threat to that. He's got 1 ride to come and he's on 6 points. So a 2nd place will see him come through into the semi-final positions. But for Leon Madsen, could just about be enough for him, 8 points here.
Yeah, another even break from the start, but Leon Madsen hits the front. Max Frick just using the wide line to generate some speed down the back straight, relegating Jason Doyle to 3rd place. Madsen, he's not actually made a smooth start there. The bike is quite violent, lifts up in the air, comes down quite hard, but manages to force his way to the front as they enter the turn. And Doyley coming across just to make sure that Jankovic can't come through, but it's so tight now for the qualification spots.
Yeah, plenty of riders on 8 points, 4 of them in fact. Max Frick and Thompson actually on the cut-off line there. They are vulnerable, that's for sure, by Jack Holder, who's coming out here in heat number 20. And if Holder out of gate number 3 can do something here, 2nd place will see him probably go through to join the top 8. So an opportunity for the young Australian rider in his debut season in the Grand Prix series. Bartosz Marslik on the inside in red. Martin Vasilik coming out of gate 2 in blue. Holder coming out of gate number 3 in white. And Mikkel Mikkelsen, who's had a disappointing night by his own high standards, will go away from the outside in yellow. Can't make the semi-finals this evening, and that will be a disappointment for him. But Smarslik on the inside must be favourite. Martin Vasilik also riding very well tonight. 10 points to his name. And he can catch Ty Wolfenden on 13 if he can manage to win this one. He's been making really good starts tonight. Away we go. And Bartosz Smarslik, wow, that is something special from him from the inside gate there. Jack Holder coming through on the inside of Martin Vasilik, but Vasilik responds and gets his nose in front into 2nd place. And relegates Jack Holder back into 3rd place, and that might not be enough for him. Oh, I've got to say, Martin Vasilik did have a lot of speed out of gate turn number 4. All of a sudden, very untidy there through the 1st and 2nd corner for the 2nd time of asking. Bartosz Smarslik was very wide indeed, but that was a stunning start from gate number 1 for Smarslik.
Yeah, pressure was on. I think he just determined to get some fresh air, get himself in front, stay out of trouble, needs a clean run into the semi-finals. He seems to be getting that now, but once again, Martin Vasilik really showing good speed.
He is indeed. Bartosz Smarslik coming under a lot of pressure early doors from Martin Vasilik, but all of a sudden, Smarslik's just about got enough pace there. He's working hard. It hasn't been a straightforward night for him. He really has battled really hard for his points, but he wins heat 20. 3 points for him. Moving nicely along, comfortably through to the semi-finals. Disappointment for Mikkel Mikkelsen this time at the Grand Prix that he will want to forget. Martin Vasilik finishes on 12 points with a strong 2nd place there. But for Bartosz Smarslik, you've got to believe that he's finding the starts and the key to the starts at the vital moment there. Heat 20, I mean, the bike really drove hard to the 1st turn, and that really sealed the deal for him.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's taken the pressure right off him, giving a little bit of confidence going into the semi-final stages.
Bartosz Marslik winning heat number 23 points there. Martin Vasilek back in second place, 2 points, and Jack Holder in third. And he finishes with 7 points. And there's going to be a count back here with Max Frick, Anders Thompson and Freddie Lindgren and Jack Holder on 7 points. It's awfully tight from them. We'll have that confirmed to you. But out in front, Ty Woofenden looking terrific this evening. He tops the charts with 13, 12 for Martin Vasilek. Smarslik finishes on 11. Matej Janowski on 9, Doyle on 8. Good to see him in the semi-finals alongside Leon Madsen as well. That valuable win from the Danish rider in his last ride. The semi-finals are coming up. Bartosz Marslik, I mean, he is working hard tonight. It hasn't been a straightforward run through for him tonight.
No, bike leaps out of the start. It just has to take one dip of the clutch just to get things under control. Roars into the lead from the inside gate. And Jack Holder, great cutback. Looks like he could get across the corner there, but Martin Vasilek had good speed, all right. All action from Bartosz Marslik. Whilst trying to get the bike back under control, he's got Martin Vasilek chasing him down, just looks over his shoulder, says, no, okay, this is okay. But, very tight there from Jack Holder. Does actually touch the back wheel of Martin Vasilek. And but for that man out front, not a comfortable ride, I've got to say. He collected a few ruts and moved across the corner, went a little bit wider than he would have liked to have done on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, and that was my point, Chris. You know, he looks like he's really having to battle tonight. He hasn't quite got the bike dialed in, but that determination from Smarslik is seeing him through.
Yeah, absolutely. We know he's all action on the bike. He moves around more than probably any other rider in World Speedway, but just doesn't look comfortable with it. You know, so I can see the conversation will be about, why is this bike so violent? Why haven't I got a comfortable ride?
Yeah, they'll be working hard there. Anders Thompson, well, he's on 7 points, and at the moment he's in 8th place and has got that final spot in the semi-final. And if that is correct, then Max Frick, Freddie Lindgren and Jack Holder will just have missed out. So it does look like they're still remaining interested. So if that is the case, we will have it confirmed, but at the moment it looks like Anders Thompson may, even though he faded badly.
Yeah, I think it is right for his 2 second places.
Yeah, that may just well have saved him, although I've got to say Freddie Lindgren, he looked good earlier on and has also found points hard to come by in his last couple of outings. So qualification heats are now completed. We will have some track grading going on before the semi-finals, and we will see the draw for the semi-finals. Ty Woofenden there alongside his manager Pete Adams, and good to see that. We're going to now head on back down to the pits with Scott Nichols, and he's got Mikkel Mikkelsen with him now.
Okay, riders for the final.
Yeah, Mikkel Mikkelsen joins me. Mikkel, a really, really tough night, and obviously really disappointing not to make the semi-finals.
Obviously, yeah, kind of embarrassed about my performance out there. It's pretty amateur-like, but you know, it is what it is. I can't really blame it on anyone else but myself. Wasn't my night, and I have some serious work to do when I get back home.
I think you're being a bit hard on yourself, mate. You don't ride to make the first 2 finals. Do you feel it was it man or machine, or was it kind of a bit of both?
You know, I'm a straightforward guy, and I can only blame myself. I didn't race very well out there tonight. Obviously, we did maybe struggle a little bit with setup and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's the rider who decides where we're going, and apparently he didn't want to go tonight.
Mate, I appreciate your honesty, but it's still an awful long way to go in the series. You still got a race win, so some positives to take from it. Just got to quickly ask you, how are you after the crash in Warsaw?
Oh, I'm fine. Obviously, that night I was a bit sore, and there was some muscle damage and stuff like that. I was a bit bruised, but other than that, it was nothing serious. I had a few days off, lay on the couch and chill for a little bit, and back on the bike a few days later. So yeah, I'm feeling fine. Can't use that as an excuse tonight, unfortunately.
No, mate, it's a busy series. You're getting a lot of domestic racing to go, so it's important to keep your chin up.
Yeah, of course. It's a long season. That's what I've been saying since Croatia. You know, obviously it's nice to get off to a great start, and build on from there. But yeah, it was a little setback tonight. I've been here before where we struggled as well. It's not my favorite place, and seems like we've been kind of searching for good starts and speed here. But like you said, it's a long season, and hopefully we can go back to the drawing board and come up with something a bit better in Tetra.
You say you go back to the drawing board. How much is that now going to be a part of it? What's the kind of the chat in the van? Obviously, you travel a lot with your mechanics. Do you try and have a little bit of time out, or are you straight on it trying to work out what the problems were?
Obviously, my mechanics and I, we're like a small little family. I'm very close with my guys, so obviously we're just going to chill for a little bit now. But when we get in the van, we still want to, discuss, take the positives and negatives. What did we do wrong? What did I do wrong? And take it from there. Obviously, it's nice to speak about the things as fast as possible while everything is still fresh. So we'll have a quick chat in the van.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck for Tetra.
Thank you.
Well, good to hear from Mikkel Mikkelsen. Very frank and honest interview there, and pretty much saying that down to him tonight, just didn't get himself going when he really needed to. But I'm sure he'll be back. He's had a strong season with 2 finals in the first 2 rounds, but misses out this evening. But he'll be back, that's for sure. We've got gate choices for the semi-finals now.
Okay, first choice for the gate position for semi-final 1 is Ty Woofenden, and Ty selects gate position red.
Inside gate for Woofenden, first semi-final.
Second choice is Maciej Janowski to make his selection. Maciej selects gate position blue.
Yeah, no real surprise there. The entire 2 gates working well tonight. Yeah. And
next to select is Leon Madsen. Please select your start position.
Gate number 3.
Leon selects the white gate.
For Leon, who won that last ride, an important win for him.
And the fourth choice for semi-final 1 is Dan Bewley, who selects the yellow gate.
Dan Bewley making it through to the semi-finals.
No surprise there. Gate 4 hasn't had a race win all night.
No, it's tough to come from there. So we'll see the lineup for semi-final number 1.
Okay,
Woofenden on the inside in red, Maciej Janowski in blue in gate number 2. Leon Madsen comes out of gate number 3 in white. And Dan Bewley, despite the fact that he had a bike fall in half, has come back well. That second place in his last outing proving to be vital. And he showed a lot of determination and character there to do that, because that would have been a major shock to the system when the bike fell in half underneath him.
First choice for semi-final 2 gate pick is Martin Vasulik, who selects the blue gate position.
Gate number 2 for Martin. Had a good night. Best showing of the season.
The second pick for the semi-final 2, Bartosz Marzlik, picks the red gate position.
No surprise there at all. He made a great start from gate number 1 in his last outing.
Third choice, semi-final 2, is Jason Doyle, and Jason selects start position white.
Jason Doyle going from gate number 3, determined
and
looking
the final
face.
pick for semi-final 2 is Anders Thompson, who selects yellow start position.
Well, Anders Thompson had done the work early doors and maybe a touch fortunate to make the semi-finals this evening on 7 points, but he's there nonetheless, very close in the end. But 2 strong semi-finals. Woofenden the clear favourite after the qualifying races. Semi-final number 2, Smarslik on the inside in red, Martin Vasulik alongside him in blue, Jason Doyle coming out of gate number 3 in white, and Anders Thompson going from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. But as you've just said, gate 4, no race wins all night. It's going to be awfully tough. You're going to have a bit of good fortune in the first corner.
I've got to say that Martin Vasulik had first choice, took gate 2, which when you know Smarslik's going to pick after you, I think it's a very, very brave move, but it just shows he's gained in confidence tonight.
Yeah. But 2 riders going through, of course, so he fancies his chances. We'll see some highlights now. So some good action there, just reflecting on the first 20 races of the evening. Riders all ready to go for the first semi-final, the business end of the meeting. This is when the big World Championships are beginning to be dished out. That man there in the red helmet colour. He's had gate 2 twice already this evening, but he wasn't tempted to go there for a third time. He went for that inside gate, and it does make that decision by Martin Vasilik, as you rightly say, Chris, in semi-final 2, to go for gate 2. It's a brave call when you've got such a rider of the qualities of Smarslik starting on the inside. I would think that Smarslik would have been delighted with that. But we'll concentrate first of all on semi-final number 1. Of course we will. Here it comes. Riders entering the arena. 3 very big races to come. And as I say, the track has behaved itself. We haven't had too much drama out there, and we haven't had too many restagings or races. But Ty Woofenden has ridden absolutely beautifully so far this evening. And if he can keep it rolling now, this could really transform his Grand-Prix series. Out of form in the first 2. Got 9 points last time, but missed out in the semi-final. Desperate to make the final tonight, of course. Maciej Janowski alongside him, and he'll be looking to make another final here as well. Made 2 finals here last year, of course, and he knows what it takes. Really showed a lot of composure to win his last ride to make sure he comes through. Bewley, got to say, if he can do something here, he's got plenty of speed, Dan Bewley. He could rear a spoiler here from the outside.
Yeah, just watching Maciej Janowski getting his gate position prepared and going against the grain a little bit. Most of the modern day riders like to pick a rut that's already there, and he's gone on a fairly fresh bit of ground, which is what I would do actually.
He has. So from the inside then we've got Ty Woofenden will come out of there in the red helmet colour. Alongside him is Maciej Janowski in blue, coming out of gate number 2. Leon Madsen coming out of gate 3 in white, and Dan Bewley from the outside. Can he buck the trend? Can we see a heat winner from there for the first time this evening in semi-final number 1? Round 3 of the World Championship here in the Marquetta Stadium. Business time now. This is when you really got to produce it if you want to make the final. Keep yourself together. Drop that clutch at the right time. Don't be impatient. Don't blow it now. Green light is about to come on. Oh, Woofenden was a little bit nervous on the start. Tied away into the first turn. Woofenden's just about there. Janowski's round the outside. Janowski gets to the front round the outside in the first turn. He now fires himself to the front. Dan Bewley coming through into 3rd place, roaring round the outside of Woofenden, but he's not quite there. Janowski's stolen him out in the opposition. Woofenden hanging on in 2nd place. Bewley and Leon Madsen now squabbling for 3rd place, but that's cost them dearly. But Maciej Janowski, a brilliant first turn from him.
Yeah, brilliant. May count himself lucky. Had a nibble at the start. He's already on a warning, but referee being kind to him. Out front, looking fast. Ty Woofenden settled down into 2nd place. Once again now, Dan Bewley pulled clear of Leon Madsen, but a lot of ground to make up. Can't see him doing anything from there.
Maciej Janowski out in front. Terrific first turn from him, showing real speed. Ty Woofenden there was close in that first turn. These 2 riders who ride together in Wrocław in the Extra League in Poland, looking set fair for the final. Janowski through, followed home closely there by Ty Woofenden. They make the final this evening. Bewley and Leon Madsen missing out. Polish fans on their feet. A lot of respect between the first 2 riders, of course there is. They've been teammates for some considerable times in Poland. But Maciej Janowski wins his last 2 outings. And of course he has very fond memories and recent memories of the winning here in the Marquetta Stadium. 4th in the world coming into tonight's meeting. 29 World Championship points to his name. And he's looking good. Janowski wins very nicely indeed. Woofenden follows him home in 2nd place. They're through to the final. Bewley and Madsen missing out this time.
Cracking stuff from Janowski. As I said, he had a little nibble at the start, and if the referee really wanted to pick him, he's on a warning. You can see Woofenden, he hasn't moved, but Janowski did move quite a bit there.
I think Woofenden did move initially. He did move
maybe just a tiny bit there, but Janowski jumped there, then goes and gets the advantage once he gets around the first turn. Maybe if he'd have made a clear start, referee may have not been so kind.
I tend to agree. I think we could have seen a red light come on there, but he was kind to them, and Janowski and Woofenden may well feel they've been a little bit fortunate there, but for Janowski, once he settled down in front, he looked fast, he looked composed. Bewley had a real go early on, but couldn't just make that stick, had to try early doors. Leon Madsen, then they were squabbling, and that really cost any chance for those two riders to make the final.
Yeah, Bewley never really had the opportunity because of the track grade. I think if it had been in the second semi-final, maybe he'd have had that opportunity around the outside.
Yeah, disappointment for him, but when you consider what happened to him earlier on, he did very well to make the semi-finals, and he's picked up some valuable points this evening, so fair play to him. But for that man, Janowski, looking strong. Second semi-final is right here. Building up nicely, they're up at tapes, and Bartosz Marslik there is on the inside in the red helmet colour. Alongside him is Martin Veselik in blue. Jason Doyle will come out of gate 3 in white, and Anders Thompson will go from the outside. Can he do something pretty spectacular? Has been below par in his last two outings prior to the semi-finals, failed to score a point. Got to feel that Smarslik on that inside gate will be a favourite to make the final. He'll want to put 2 weeks ago out of his mind, of course, where he made that mistake and didn't make the final. So the green light is about to come on. Semi-final number 2. Away they go. Martin Veselik makes a really good start. Really gets to the first corner in front. Jason Doyle alongside him. Anders Thompson. Oh, he's gone down. I thought for a moment he was going to run in the back of Jason Doyle. Picks the bike up. The race continues. It's going to go on now. Out in front, Martin Veselik. And once again, Bartosz Smarslik's got a lot of work to do if he wants to make the final here. Jason Doyle in second place, looking strong, looking set. But Martin Veselik, the form continues for the Slovakian.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable out front. Brave move, but Smarslik putting Doyle under so much pressure. Look for that dive bomb move up the inside again, but Doyle really not leaving him enough room. And at the moment, set fair to make his first semi-final of the season.
Indeed it is. Martin Veselik will move on to the final if he hangs on out in front there. Looking good for Doyle now. Bartosz Smarslik running too wide. Going to miss out on the final for the second consecutive Grand Prix. Martin Veselik riding out of his skin through to the final. Chased home hard by the former world champion Jason Doyle. Those two riders had disappointing campaigns before tonight's meeting, and they have turned it around in fine style. Smarslik is another shock to miss out on the final, but for that man out in front, he really has been making starts for fun. And Martin Veselik and Jason Doyle through to the final.
Yeah, I said that Veselik was brave to take gate 2, heat 20, they'd been in the same order, and Smarslik came out on top of that one, so to go into your very next race electing to do the same thing again was brave, but it just shows his confidence.
Yeah, we did see that with Max Frick a couple of weeks ago when he chose gate 4 on 3 occasions, but this is a terrific effort from Martin Veselik.
Yeah, unfortunate for Anders Thompson there, just ran out of room as he picked up some drive, nearly ran into the back of Jason Doyle, and it was very fair on the other riders to get himself up, which is very important. You can see there, Doyle is just stopping that run, but it's a mistake from Thompson really, and yeah, great stuff. It's great to see Jason Doyle back in the thick of the action now, but that man in blue, Martin Veselik, full of confidence, took gate 2, took advantage of it, and Smarslik once again doesn't make a final.
No, just missing out on the final, but we're now waiting for the big final race of the night.
Imagine a community where millions invest in stocks, share ideas, strategies, and beyond.
To the moon?
eToro, the power of social investing. Join 25 million users worldwide. Get the eToro app today.
The all-seeing Hawkeye camera doesn't work the French Open. So we took him on holiday to Almeria to open his eyes to different lines, charting the seas of the Mediterranean Sea, tracing our storied walls, outlining the sinuous furrows of our deserts and our infinitely spellbinding beaches. The lines that led him here and the ones that take him back are images he'll never forget. Join us and see it all, like Hawkeye. Costa de Almeria.
Sport is your life. Numbers, stats, and scores. having them instantly at your fingertips makes life a totally different game. Flash Score, game-changing numbers.
Electric car insurance from LV. Run out of power and we'll take you to the nearest charge point or charge you roadside. Get a quote today at lv.com.
Final comes next. So, the one race to go, of course, and it's the most important one of the night, the grand final here in the Marquetta Stadium. We've witnessed a decent Grand Prix. The weather has behaved, the track has behaved. It's been difficult to overtake, but the action has been thick and fast nonetheless. And great to be back in Prague. And everybody on the edges of their seats waiting for the draw for the final to be made. And it'll be interesting to see exactly who chooses which gate. Vital in the outcome of this meeting. Janowski going very well indeed. Can't discount him. Wuffenden and Vasilik probably just marginally favourites for this final, but you can't discount any of the riders. Jason Doyle also has battled awfully hard to get to this stage as well.
Okay, and first choice for the gate position for the final is Martin Vasulik, who chooses the blue gate position.
No hesitation for Martin. Gate number 2. Just waiting for Ty Wuffenden to come forward now.
And second choice for the final gate position is Maciej Janowski, who selects the white position.
Janowski will go out of gate number 3.
Third choice for the final gate pick, straight for the red gate position, is Ty Wuffenden.
Be pleased with that. I think he won't be disappointed at all.
And the final selection for the final is Jason Doyle, who selects the yellow gate position.
Jason Doyle going from the outside. Seen him win from there in a final before, a few years ago. So there's no doubt he'll be determined. So the lineup for the grand final here in the Marquetta Stadium in 2022. It's Ty Wuffenden on the inside in red. Martin Vasilik will go from gate number 2 in blue. And Janowski will come out of gate number 3 in white. And Jason Doyle off the outside in yellow.
And Janowski has got to capitalise on this final. We've got no Smarslik, no Madsen, no Mikkelsen. He really can take advantage here.
Yeah, very good point. And it is a great opportunity for him to actually go away from this meeting leading the championship by some distance, with a Grand Prix to come next weekend in Tetero in Germany. It's a really good opportunity for him, and a great chance also for riders like Ty Wuffenden and Jason Doyle and Martin Vasilik really to make a big impact in their campaigns as well. All three of those riders have found points hard to come by in the opening 2 rounds, Chris, and you've got to say that they've shown a lot of grit and determination to get right back in the thick of the action here tonight.
Yeah, they have. Jason Doyle 9th, Ty Wuffenden 10th, and Martin Vasilik 15th coming into this meeting today, and they really have turned things around. They've shown real determination to do that, and now is when they had to do it.
How are you feeling right now?
I got good feeling today in the start and in the Prague, and all the time I make it the 3-2-1 points, and every racing I make it points, but all the time not so good feeling on the bike and in the here, and I'm lost in the semi-final, and yes, I'm to do.
But it's lucky for you that your main rivals, Mikkelsen and Madsen, they don't make the final either.
I don't like it. I don't look at for this one. I'm looking for the future, and season is so long.
It's all in your hands. Well, thanks for joining me, and good luck for the rest of the series.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to hear from Bartosz Smarslik. Clearly disappointed, but he'll be back in next weekend, of course. Desperately trying to make the final. He's not out of it. Still picking up some good points, and you can't count him out at this stage. Of course you can't. And there's a long way to go. But right now we're going to focus on the 4 riders in the final. Woofenden on the inside, probably quite fortunate to get the inside gate there, but nonetheless we'll be very pleased with that.
I would say he was very surprised to be left with that, to be honest.
He was. And Martin Vasilik, confident of going from gate number 2 for the 3rd consecutive time. And that's worked a treat for him. Janowski, well, turning down the opportunity to go from the inside gate, so backing himself to go from that outside. We've seen him actually win a race earlier on from gate number 3, and he got a nice smooth run through the first turn.
There's always the risk if you come off the inside gate and you don't make a good jump that the other riders, either from, in this case I think probably from either gate 2 or 3, will clamp you down, and then a rider can get a run around the outside of you. So maybe that was part of Janowski's thinking.
Yeah, it must have been, because the opportunity to go from the inside was there for him. Jason Doyle, well, it was Hobson's choice for him. Had nothing to do. I did see him win a Grand Prix here in 2016, I think it was, when he actually won from gate number 4 when nobody had won from there all night long. He made a fabulous start, so if he can produce something like that once again, and you cannot discount the Australian whatsoever. And as you said earlier, it's good to see Jason return to form here. Has had a hard time, has been a little confused at times, I would suggest, in the Grand Prix because his league form has been so good, but it's good to see that he's transferred that league form into World Championship form. 1 race to go. It's been a good night of Speedway. The weather's behaved. 28th time we've been here in the Marquetta Stadium. The new era of Speedway continues on with Discovery Sports events. It's bright, there's plenty of lights out there, it's a great show, it's a terrific atmosphere. It's a chilly evening, but it's ideal for racing, that's for sure. The racing has kept us nice and cosy. And
I've really enjoyed this weekend. You know, the SGP2 last night really made it a good weekend, seeing the young guys, that the young pretenders they want to be these guys in the next couple of 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's been a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, I was actually buoyed by the fact that we've got a group of riders coming through that's going to make sure that the Grand Prix series continues nicely. And we've got plenty of talent lurking in the background. But for now, the focus of attention is on these 4 riders. Who's going to win the night? That man in the blue helmet colour, Martin Vasilik, has a very good chance. He's been riding terrifically well this evening. It's about composure now. Hold yourself together. Do the right things at the right time. And got to say, 1 or 2 of these boys have been here more than once. Woofenden has won this meeting 3 times consecutively between 2013 and 2015. He knows what it's all about. Janowski won here last year. Martin Vasilik, a multiple Grand Prix winner, of course. He knows what it's all about. Jason Doyle, a former world champion. He's won here in the Marquetta. There's real quality on the start line here for the final race of the evening, Chris. Really is a fabulous lineup for the final.
Yeah, so predictions, Kelvin, I have to ask you, as you know.
Well, I'm going with the Brit here tonight. I'm going with Woofenden. It's been great to see him back on fine form. I think if he gets his nose in front, he'll pick up the win, but it's going to be awfully tight through that first turn.
Yeah,
on the inside, Woofenden in red, Martin Vasilik in blue in gate number 2, Matvej Janowski on a warning coming out of gate number 3, and Jason Doyle will go from gate number 4 in the yellow helmet colour.
Sorry, Woofenden, a great shout, but I'm going to have to go for Martin Vasilik. He's been so confident all night, looked fantastic, he's got great speed, and he's on the gate that he wants.
Well, it'd move him on to 29 World Championship points, and that will be very valuable indeed with the Grand Prix next weekend. I mean, that's just perfect timing to really get your campaign back on track. Settling down then for the big grand final. Here we go in the Marquetta Stadium. Green lights on. Oh, Janowski's blown it on the start. Away they go. The red light's on.
He'll have to be out. He's had a warning already.
Oh, that's desperate for Matvej Janowski. He was nervous in the semi-final where he twitched a bit on the start line. Got away with it that time. But Artur Kashmirets, the referee, really has no choice but to take him out of the final.
I don't think there was any movement before him.
Yeah,
maybe from Jason Doyle, you know, it could be used as an excuse.
Oh, Doyle definitely moves.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Magic's got a good case to make there.
No exclusion light on yet, but I just fancy the fact that it could well be curtains there. for Janowski. And we wait to see the decision from the referee. Janowski's still out on track.
Maybe a bit of...
But he's been told to
like,
leave the arena, and that's desperately disappointing end to the evening. He'll pick up 14 World Championship points, and far from disastrous, but of course he would have been looking for the win there.
Yeah, Jason Doyle will be buoyed by that because he's got a little bit more space now as he comes off the start line from gate 4.
So 3 riders only for the final. That's disappointing in itself. Would have wanted to see Janowski out there, but just got a little bit nervous on the start line. Will be kicking himself a bit. As you rightly say, an opportunity now. All these 3 riders will be on the rostrum, of course, with only 3 of them out there. But an opportunity for Jason Doyle with more racing room going towards that first turn.
And it's a big blow for Janowski because he could have taken advantage of this lineup without Leon Madsen, without Smarslik, without Mikkelsen.
Doyle on a warning then. As you rightly say, a missed opportunity to really stretch that lead in the championship. And he will be very frustrated indeed. So, second time of asking here in the Marquetta for the final. Woofenden on the inside in red. Martin Vasilik on gate number 2 in blue. And on the outside is Jason Doyle in the yellow helmet colour. Martin Vasilik had actually got away very well indeed. In actual fact, it was a very untidy start in truth. Start line girls now getting out of the way. Green light is on. Away they go, Martin Vasilik. What a start from him. He fires himself to the front. Ty Woofenden now slots into second place. But Martin Vasilik down that back straight on the opening lap. Absolutely perfect away from the start. It was a textbook start there from the Slovakian. Jason Doyle back in third. But Martin Vasilik, look at him go out in front. A stunning opening lap there from him.
Martin Vasilik has come into this meeting and found some fantastic form. I've never seen him ride better, I don't think. He's just riding the bike with so much determination. He's out in the dirt. He's not worried about where he's riding and stretching that lead against Ty Woofenden and Jason Doyle, who certainly have turned their Grand-Prix series round tonight.
They have indeed, but for Martin Vasilik, that was a stunning start. It's been a terrific night of Speedway right through all the evening for him. He's out in front, he's got this final really wrapped up, just needs to keep it going. One last turn for Martin Vasilik. As it comes out of turn number 4, the crowd are on their feet. Martin Vasilik wins in fine style here in the Marquetta tonight. What a performance from him. He'll be absolutely overjoyed with that. 20 massive World Championship points for him. Good result for Ty Woofenden back in second place and Doyle in third. But what can you say about Martin Vasilik? Had the strength of his convictions there to go for gate number 2, Chris, and he made it work.
Yeah, he did it twice. He's made it work both times. And for the second Grand Prix in a row, we see a guy at the bottom of the field taking the victory, mixing it up.
Yeah, so very difficult to predict results at the moment. It really is a topsy-turvy season, but it's an indication of how competitive this series is.
It really is.
And a tough one to call. Fair play to Bartosz Smarslik. They're going across to congratulate Martin Vasilik. Great sportsmanship from him. Ty Woofenden will be delighted as well with his second place on the evening. 18 championship points for him. And back in third place, 16 World Championship points for Jason Doyle. But the night belongs to Martin Vasilik. Clearly delighted with his performance. And as I say, with a World Championship round in Tetero in just 7 days' time, what a timely win this is.
Yeah, and it's another track, to be honest, that could suit him down to the ground. It can cut up a little bit. Just the sort of track that he doesn't mind riding.
Well, if he can keep starting like that, crikey, he's got every chance. I mean, that was a jet-propelled start in the final. And a great way to finish your Grand Prix off. Really and truthfully, by the time he came out of the first corner, the race was his and the final was his.
And what a start. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it again, actually, because it really was
good.
It was pretty special, wasn't it? And for that man who had a disappointing run in Croatia and in Warsaw, this is something quite special and just shows you the kind of rider he is. He's had his injury problems in the past. He's had to have permanent wildcard picks for this season as well. But a Grand Prix win is just the tonic
just
you
watch
want.
This. If you want to know how to start, that's how to do it. The bike just went forward. He reacted quicker than anybody. he wanted this victory more than anybody out there in that race. That was a textbook start.
It was indeed. Gate 4 really has been problematic all night long, and for Jason Doyle, just couldn't get across from there. Quite clearly not enough grip to fire to the first corner. The absolute reverse of that is gate number 2. We saw it working really strongly earlier on in the evening, but when we come to the vital race at the end of the night, Martin Vasilik had, as I say, the strength of his convictions to pick gate number 2, being possibly vulnerable for a rider on the inside, but he didn't worry about that.
And you have to wonder how much of that was psychological, because the inside 3 gates, gate 1, 2 and 3, had all evened up. I'm not sure there was an advantage from gate 2 by the time he was taking it, but psychologically, that's what he wanted.
But he'd been making it work, hadn't he, in his last 3 outings. He's won 3 consecutive races from there. So for Martin Vasilik, congratulations to him, a terrific effort. And all of a sudden, he's right back in the thick of it now with the 29 championship points to his name. 9 points only from 2 rounds, but 20 points here in the Marquetta Stadium. 28th time we visited this part of the world, and it hasn't disappointed. Terrific SGP2 in difficult conditions last night, and in much improved conditions here this evening. Martin Vasilik coming out on top. Big smiles all round, and of course Ty Woofenden will be chuffed to bits with his 2nd place on the night. All of a sudden his performances is much improved. We can get some reaction very soon with the winner very shortly. Let's get down to Scott Nichols with the winner now.
Yeah, your winner here, round 3 in the Marquetta Stadium, Martin Vasilik. Martin, what a turnaround from Warsaw.
Oh yeah, this is unbelievable. You know, I'm so happy, so pleased for today. Thank you for all the fans on the stadium. You give us such a perfect support. So I'm so pleased about today. Like you said before, beginning of the season was, you know, not the best, struggling a little bit, but yeah, now everything turned, and yeah, I'm very happy. Just keep focused and going forward.
And how hard have you and your team worked between Warsaw and today?
Yeah, you know, this is, I would like to say big thanks to my team, because we made tremendous job together. You know, my guys in the team always watch the track, try to set up what will be the best, and we did it.
You did. You had the choice. You went for gate 2. Was there any hesitation going for gate 2? You were gating amazingly well tonight.
Yeah, I think the gate 2 today was the best gate, and I had a clean mind before choice. So yeah, gate 2 was perfect, and I did a perfect start. So yeah, that's it.
Perfect start, perfect finish. Well done.
Thank you very much. Ďakujem vám veľmi pekne. Ďakujem všetkým.
Yeah, smashing effort from Martin Vasilik, and he spoke really nicely there, and congratulating his team. A team effort to turn his form around, and it proved to be a terrific outcome for him. The other 2 riders, of course, in the final will be both very pleased as well, Chris, because Doyle and Woofenden have had a hard time so far.
Yeah, neither have found their true form in the previous 2 rounds, but a much better night for both of them tonight.
So we're just waiting for the riders to come forward to be presented to the crowd. First up, Jason Doyle, much more like it from the Australian. A big performance from him, a confidence booster, that's for sure. Finally seeing that form that he's been showing in the leads translating into a 3rd place here in Prague, and he can build on that, that's for sure.
Yeah, Ty Woofenden worked very hard tonight. Fantastic in the qualifying heats. Great job from him. Just missing out, but that start from Martin Vasilik was always going to be hard to overcome.
It was indeed.
It's the time to invite to the podium the first rider and King of Prague from Slovakia, Martin Vasilik.
So the King of Prague then makes his way to the top of the box. Martin Vasilik, the winner on the night. The spoils go to him. A stunning performance in the end there in the final. Absolutely outstanding. And you've got to congratulate him. It really was something, a sight to behold. And here's the national anthem right now.
Slovenska na počest dnešního vítěze.
Well, many congratulations once again to Martin Vasilek. A fully deserved win on the evening, that's for sure. He's ridden out of his skin tonight, and a timely return to form. And he'll be very much looking forward to the next round in 7 days' time for round number 4 in Teterow in northeast Germany. Pavel Ondřiček, the manager of the club here in Prague, coming forward to present Jason Doyle with his cut glass vase. Beautiful bit of glass work from this part of the world. There's something to savour, that's for sure.
Second place trophy presented by Jan Šťovíček, FIM board member, Auto Club Czech Republic, president. Trofej za druhé místo předává člen představenstva FIM a prezident Autoklubu České republiky Jan Šťovíček.
Second place for Ty Woofenden then, Chris. That was much more like it.
Yeah, timely for him. Plenty of time now to climb further up the leaderboard. Just giving himself a bit of a break, but I've got to add my congratulations to Martin Vasilek, a nice guy, and nice to see him appreciate the team effort.
Yeah, he spoke really well there in the interview.
Jan Kabra.
So the councillor of Prague City coming forward there, Jan Kabra, and Martin Vasilek clearly delighted, and rightly so, you know, such a nice guy, and to see him there winning and on top of the box tonight, it was fully deserved. He rode strongly and consistently right through this evening, and produced in the final when he really needed to. And as he said in his interview with Scott Nichols there, had no hesitation to take that gate number 2, and that's what it's all about, clear mind.
Yeah.
Like Max Frick 2 weeks ago, gate number 4 was for him, and he had no hesitation, picked up the win on the night. And Martin Vasilek once again showing how important the strength of the mind is here at the highest level. Champagne time.
Where it gets messy. Run, girls.
Yeah, make sure you don't get too much of it in your eyes. It can sting something terrible.
Oh, I think Ty's just suffered that.
Yeah, Ty's had the full force there from Martin, that's for sure. And some great scenes here in the Marquetta Stadium. It's been a good night of Speedway. Overtaking has been difficult. You can't avoid that fact, but in the end, all things considered, it's been a good night of Speedway.
I think
we've had a good event.
I think there's relief on that stage. All 3 riders needed the result they've got tonight to turn things around.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the one you would have predicted. It would have been hard to predict that result on the night, but you're absolutely right, Chris. You know, these guys were struggling for race wins at this highest level, but they have come good when they really needed to, and we've had 3 rounds of the championship so far, so if they can build on this, they'll certainly make their presence felt, that's for sure.
Yeah, they've ripped the form book up tonight.
We've got World Championship standings coming up. Maciej Janowski, of course, will be disappointed not to have won the final, but Bartosz Zmarzlik there on 44 points. That's quite remarkable that he still leads the World Championship by 1 point. Tight between the 2 Poles, Janowski on 43, Madsen on 40, Mikkelsen on 33, Woofenden all of a sudden into 5th place, 32, Max Frick on 31, Doyle, much more like it from him in 7th, and Lindgren on 31 as well. Vasilek, what a move for him. And suddenly that top 9 looks really tight indeed, and this championship right now is wide open.
Yeah, ultra competitive.
Very much indeed, and that's so exciting for everybody concerned. No runaway leader at this early stage. So great work done by all those 3, and it's been as I say, it's been a solid event here with 2 Grand Prix back-to-back. Difficult conditions last night, but we powered on through. Great result in the end for young Shieniak, and winning in fine style, and that man as well, clearly beaming smile on his face, and he will be overjoyed and buzzing for the next 24 hours, that's for sure.
He will.
Martin Vasilek, the winner here in Prague in the Marquetta Stadium. Brilliant stuff from him. Delighted for him.
The all-seeing Hawkeye camera doesn't work the French Open. So we took him on holiday to Almeria to open his eyes to different lines, charting the seams of the Mediterranean Sea, tracing our storied walls, outlining the sinuous furrows of our deserts, and our infinitely spellbinding beaches. The lines that led him here, and the ones that take him back, are images he'll never forget. Join us and see it all, like Hawkeye. Costa de Almeria.
The next sale is a digital treasure trove charming Ellie's private data.
What?
Lot number one, her emails. The one she's opened and read, her personal hygiene purchases. Her recent transactions. Oh, I hear 600, 620, 640, 660, 680. Oh.
Frank hasn't just nailed the romantic meal. He's only gone and cinched it. Just like he cinched his motor. Buying a car, don't just nail it, cinch it.
Of FIM Speedway Grand-Prix is a history. Now it was a very surprising night here at Marketa Stadium. Tai Wolfinden topped the podium Martin Watzlawick, of course, topped the podium. Tai Wolfinden came in second, and Jason Doyle completed the podium tonight. So they turned their fortunes around comparing to the first two rounds of World Championship. But also for some of the riders, this night was quite disappointing, and I'm gonna talk to Leon Madsen right now and ask him about the night. How did you feel tonight at Marketa Stadium?
I didn't feel good. Yeah, I was never comfortable on my bike, and we just couldn't find the setup on the bike. I was struggling a lot, so it wasn't funny. We were trying to survive, basically, and yeah, I made it to the semi, but in the semi-final I made a big mistake in the start. So yeah, it was tough, and I'm, you know, it's not, to be honest, you know, this track is not for me, especially not how they prepared it for today. I think if this was a Formula 1 meeting, I think you would call it a Monaco GP, because it was basically impossible to pass almost after the start. So I think for the viewers it's been quite boring.
But let's focus on the positive things so far, because you are at the moment third in the overall classification. You're not losing too many points to the leader. So I'm sure you can draw some positive conclusion as well after this third round.
Yeah, when I was watching, everything went out to my advantage with the other riders. So it's you know, it's not bad. We're still up there in the top, 4 points to the leader, and I'm in third position. So everything is still okay. It wasn't a big It wasn't a catastrophic night for me in that matter. So yeah, I don't know. We came away from here not that bad, and we're still in the mix to fight for the World Championship. But obviously we have to do better, like we did today.
Exactly. It's still a long way to go. Thank you so much. Good luck and keep it going, Leon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much once again, and we're gonna move now to Dan Bewley, for whom it was also a night full of mixed emotion. Where is Dan? Where is Dan? He's right here. Hello, Dan. Hello, Dan. Hello. How's it going today for you? Because it seems like you had a lot of mixed emotions here tonight. First of all, I need to ask you about that bike failure. What happened there exactly?
Yeah, you know, we had some highs and lows, but one of the bolts broke on the front of the bike, and the forks came out. So it was just one of those freak things. But you know, luckily we left in one piece, and we're not injured, so it's good.
But before that, it was going quite well. You finally picked your first win in the SGP, and that was actually your first time here at Marketa Stadium. So how did you find it? How did you find the track?
Yeah, you know, it's first time at Prague, and I was thinking, this place, like, I'm probably going to have a lot of pressure, because people seem to think, like, if there's any track where it's a little bit rough and doesn't look so good, that I will have a good meeting. But, you know, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty rough and a bit of dirt, and, you know, to get the first heat win, that's been the goal since the start of the season, and we got that, and from there, the next goal was to make the semi, and we got two in one night, so it's awesome.
Most important is that you stay positive, and of course the season is still very, very long. Good luck for the upcoming round. Thank you so much for joining us here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to see all the best moments of the third round of FIM Speedway Grand Prix.
Terrific to be back here in the Marquetta Stadium. Fine weather greeted the riders, healthy crowd, and it started off here, and we've got Dan Bewley having all sorts of problems with that bike failure there. That really was quite a dramatic moment.
Mixed fortunes in tonight's meeting for Dan Bewley. He gets his first race win in the series, and then his bike falls in half.
Yeah. Really was quite a rare moment for him, but he bounced back and made the semi-finals. All credit to the young British rider. Heat 17, and it's also Ty Woofenden making terrific progress through the heats, winning 3 consecutive races, looking much more like his old self. And it was great to see the former 3-time world champion back to his very best here this evening. Woofenden coming through in fine style. Heat 17 belonged to him, safely through to the semi-finals. Semi-finals, the choices were made, gate positions picked, first semi-final, and away they went. And Maciej Janowski alongside his teammate there with Ty Woofenden, but it was Maciej Janowski that made the best of it down that back straight, Chris.
Yeah, and a night when the form book went right out of the window, Janowski should have taken advantage, but he couldn't do it in the final.
Teammates through to the grand final then. Janowski winning well in heat in semi-final number 1. Ty Woofenden following him through. Semi-final number 2 then, and Martin Vasilik making terrific starts all night long. Fires himself to the front. Gate number 2 working well for him. A problem there for Anders Thompson. Gets himself back up off the track. Jason Doyle there in second place. Martin Vasilik and Doyle through to the final. The shock there was Bartosz Marslik.
Disappointment for Bartosz Marslik. It's the second GP in a row that he doesn't make the final.
Yeah, desperately disappointing for him, but remarkably he still maintains his lead in the final. And then the drama in the final and the disappointment for Janowski. Moving on the start line. Nerves possibly getting the better of him, but a little bit of movement from Doyle as well encouraged him to move forward. But nonetheless, an opportunity missed for Maciej Janowski.
The perfect opportunity to take advantage of the top of the field missing out tonight, and he just couldn't do it.
So a restart with just the 3 riders. The grand final, it was Martin Vasilik. I mean, it was a fabulous start, and really and truthfully, by the time he hits the first corner, it was really all over. And he rode beautifully right through the evening and wins his first Grand Prix of the season in fine style. Woofenden back in second, and Jason Doyle in third. Martin Vasilik, the king of Prague, here in the Marquetta Stadium tonight. The team overjoyed, and a 20-point haul for him, and he'll move on nicely to Tetero in 7 days' time.
And now we're going to take a look at the championship standings so far. You can see Marslik is still the leader of the overall classification. And we have a very special guest right now near to us. I'm joined by Martin Vasilik, the winner of tonight, and of course Scott Nichols as well with us. Well, first of all, congratulations, Martin. That must have been a very exciting night for you, as you won for the first time here in Prague. So how are you feeling right now?
Thank you very much. As you see, I win first time here in the Prague, and Prague for me is something special, you know, a beautiful city, and I race here since my kids' time, you know, I can say that. So always I dream, when I was watching in the TV, riders like Scott and Gran-pri and Rickardsson and Tommy Golob and the rest of the guys, I was dreamed to win here because, like I said, Prague is very special for me, and today I did it, and I'm so happy, I'm so pleased for that, and it is unbelievable for me this night.
So dreams come true, and that smells like victory to me. Martin, the Grand Prix is very, very tough, and I know you're somebody that works very hard on the mental approach. Tonight must have been a huge boost for you mentally.
Yeah, it was, and it is, because especially when you you don't have a good beginning of the season, then you need to work even harder and keep focused. And all my team, you know, keep calm and keep focused and work hard, including myself. So yeah, just you know, stay focused, keep calm, and yeah, do what we can do the best and fight for our dreams.
I saw after your first race you made a couple of changes, like the jetting and stuff. Did you have to make many changes to the bike, or was that, you said to me just before we come on air that it was pulling your arms out, so was the bike just working perfect all night?
Working perfect, but this way I again would like to say thank you for my team, because they was very you know, check every track rating, check how everything is working, and we did couple of changes, so it was not all day one setup, so we did couple of changes, so yeah, it was today very good teamwork.
Great. Thank you so much. Once again, Martin, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And now you can have a time for celebration.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys.
And what do you say, Scott, if we're going to join the runner-up of tonight? Yes,
well done,
we're gonna hear from Ty Wolfenden.
Hello, yep. He's happy to be here, but yeah, nice to meet you. But I've got to do an interview.
Exactly. Ty Wolfenden is nearby.
Yeah,
we're gonna ask him a few questions about tonight as well. Ty Wolfenden is here with us. Would you like to join us? Oh, thank you. We got invited into the box of Ty Wolfenden. Well, congratulations, Ty. It was a great night for you. Well, to turn your fortunes around, if not in Prague, the place which is very, very special for you, given your performances in the past. So, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel good. Obviously, the start of the season was quite tough. And, you know, we went to Warsaw, learning on the job, understanding things more, figuring it out. And then every week I'm riding, I'm learning more and more about how to get these things set up this year. And yeah, I started at the bottom, and then in Warsaw we took a few steps up again, another few steps up, and we just need to keep doing that round by round until we're at the last round of the championship.
How much of a work you did today? Because it seems like you read this track perfectly and you didn't really need to do anything in particular to be fast.
For me, to be fast, you need to have the right setup and the bike needs to go forward. It's a really simple sport, but a really hard sport at the same time. But you can relate to that, I'm sure. Like, when it's happening, and when it's not right. And it's the huge gap in between. But tonight, we did the job we needed to do. We climbed a few more places up the ladder. And yeah, let's see how we go in Tetrov in a week's time.
I think you just hit it on there. It's a frustrating thing. When it's happening, it's happening. It just happens without you really putting any effort in. But when it's not at this level, it's tough. You said about trying to get things set up. Obviously, you've changed tuners and one through another. How difficult is that kind of midway through the Grand-Prix series?
I don't know how to put it for someone that's sat at home watching. It's like, I don't know, one week you're driving a Ferrari, the next week you're driving a Fiat 500. So, you know, trying to get the things to work when you know, anyway, it doesn't matter. We've done what we've done. The first round started as it was. We're climbing up the ladder, we're taking steps in the right direction, and, you know, hopefully in the coming weeks I'm back to the Ty Wolfenden that people know who I am.
Well, mate, you've got on the podium, so like you say, it's pushing in the right direction. Thanks a lot for joining us, Ty, and good luck for Tetra.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we're going to move quickly to your neighbor. Jason Doyle is here. Third place tonight at Marketa Stadium. Hello, Jason. How's it going today? You must be very happy tonight.
Yeah, it's been a hard struggle the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I'm happy. We finally got back on the podium and we found a little bit of speed, but obviously, yeah, Wolfie's pulling some faces in the background. If he wasn't pulling so much shapes in that last final, maybe I would have passed him, but no, it was nice,
milk tape for two.
Yeah, but like, yeah, we went to the qualifier and was last, and it put a big shockwave up me and the team, so we worked really hard.
And how much of an energy boost you're going to get from Prague tonight?
Yeah, we needed this. That's the main thing. To show that we can beat the best in the world is a massive boost, and hopefully we can carry it on to Tetro next week.
All the best. Thank you so much, and enjoy the night.
Thank you. We will do.
Well done, Jace.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. So we're going to give Jason a moment to celebrate the night. And I need to ask you, Scott, about the biggest surprise of tonight. Was it Maciej Janowski?
Well, I think it was the top three, wasn't it? You know, you got Maciej Janowski, touch and taste, but we have to go Zmarzlik, Mikkelsen, Madsen not making the final. That was a big night. But that guy there, that was a huge night for him. But like I say, focusing on Magic, touching or having a jump at the start. It's there's a big opportunity missed there.
But does it seem like it was a lot of attention tonight in the pits area? Because if we look at Magic's performance so far, he was doing very good from the beginning of the season, and tonight something was really in his mind, right?
Yeah, I think the thing was as Magic, he didn't have a great night, but he did enough to get into important last race to get into the semi-final. And I think when it got to the final, it was a case that he really realised that he could really take full advantage of that because the other boys hadn't, and obviously he was on a warning, moving at the start, and it's game over. But it keeps the championship wide open.
Exactly, but and he's still in the game. Obviously, we saw the standings, and given his fine form so far, he can still bounce back stronger. In 1 week time, we're going to be in Tetrov. So how do you see his chances there?
Oh, he's got a good chance. I mean, like I said, what I think is great is that, you know, some of the big players didn't make the final tonight. That's kept the championship open. It's kept it tight. And, Magic, he's a world-class rider. He'll be disappointed with that error, but he'll put it forwards into Tetrov.
Thank you so much, Scott. And as we've mentioned already, the next round that will be staged in Tetrov, Germany, in 1 week time. We would like to invite you for round 4 of Speedway Grand-Prix 2022. And that's all from us, from Prague, from Markéta Stadium. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Scott. And till the next time.